Walgreens, and their county cops are watching the stop sign over here, okay, in the late morning, and they're in the neighborhood. They pulled somebody over on 87th and Cottage, and then there were like 2 other cars I saw.
Maybe looking for Maze.
No, but
Queen Sugar put the Queen Sugar's police.
The sugar police.
I noticed it yesterday twice when they were pulled somebody over right over here, you know, and it was, I figured out it was from the stop sign when I actually saw it happening.
Yeah, maybe they wait and say, maybe they're gonna get lucky and get Maze. Man, you see that editorial cartoon in the Tribune today?
No.
That's your boy, man.
Who?
Kwame. They got him coming out of a pack of cigarettes.
Really? Oh, nah. Show me the picture. Show it to me. Show it to me. Oh, dog. He check yourself before you wreck yourself, homie.
Kwame.
Yeah, that graphic looks cool, Maze.
Huh?
I said the graphic looks cool, Maze.
What graphic?
On Facebook.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, the hashtag.
The wisdom, but the Maze said is hidden in the.
I don't see it.
See it now?
No.
Look in the left corner. You're on YouTube or Facebook?
I'm on Facebook.
Go to the left corner.
Left top, I got the live and the number showing.
Right. Now you can see it's hidden in the. No, but look, you'll see it in a minute because we got a delay.
Ah, okay.
Oh, but yours is in the. Your number is in the left.
Yeah.
So it's covering
What
it
if
up.
I do that?
Well, you'd have to go into it. See, but you're covering it up.
There it goes. If I switch it sideways,
Yep.
It comes up. I got it. Cool.
You share this shit.
I must admit, the suit is a good look on you. Looking at it on the TV, past couple mornings, Maze.
Don't be surprised.
Good look. We got to get you a whip, the tie.
A lot more coming. Don't worry. Merchandising, vertical integration, bro. You'll be able to get the lapel pin. You wear a suit and tie to work every day? We got gear for you. You don't just have to wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'll send it to Maze Jack.
What?
That cartoon.
Oh.
Kwame made the big time. They gave him hair too.
You're on video now, right? We're live?
Yes.
Is there a caption
What?
on the cartoon?
No, it's just Kwame saying this isn't what it looks like coming out of a pack of cigarettes.
If you give it to me as a graphic, we can add it into the show. I can literally drop it into the show.
Really? What do you need?
I just save it as a cartoon. Please.
All right, it's time, y'all. We're here. If we just
Wake up.
All right, y'all. They don't have so very long before they're jump. All right, y'all, let's get it rocking. I'm ready. Like my Christmas tie. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Let's do it, y'all. Get you a little different. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Charles, how you feeling this morning?
Still here, man. Still here. Haven't gone anywhere.
Hey, man, you know, I was worried about you yesterday. I was like, uh-oh. When we was leaving up out of here, I was like, oh, you got to check, make sure my man is here tomorrow morning.
Yeah, man. Everybody's leaving, man. I read this story, man.
Man.
Everybody's leaving Illinois, man.
Everybody's leaving.
Yeah, man, and I'm still here. Man.
You know what?
No.
I'm thinking like everybody is leaving for real, Charles. Seems like Illinois, so much so that we have fallen behind Pennsylvania.
Right, by a couple of thousand people or something like that.
Pennsylvania.
But the trend is steady. Pennsylvania's actually gained a few people. We are the only state in the Midwest, certainly, that's losing among the states, I think, surrounding us. And man, we're like that. We have the highest out-migration in the country. I wonder why that is.
Man, Charles, well, you know what? It's going to be a great show, and we're going to talk about it today because Orphe Divun Gee
Yeah.
will be in the building. Now, Charles, wait a minute. They got a black man at the Illinois Policy Institute
As their chief economist. Can you get to that?
Wait, put the black man in charge of the money.
You know, John Tillman, who runs the Illinois Policy Institute, was in here, and we asked him, we said, hey, man, how many black people you got working for you? And he kind of like said, well, I got.
He said, did he go get his papers? Was he looking at the papers?
Well, but I tell you what, he went out and found Orphe Divun Gee, this brother, who's the chief economist over there, and he's going to come here and talk about stuff.
Well, you know what? We'll talk to him at 7 o'clock. Charles, you know what? We got a lot going on today. Plus, you know, you pulled the cover off a story last week, and I can't wait till 8 o'clock till we talk about it. The law department,
Oh man,
city of Chicago, look, they already got the person walking the flank, like,
Ladies, you know, you like me. The only thing what I really detest is when people think you're stupid.
man,
They can pull stuff on you.
you trying to play me like a
I know,
sucker.
man, because you like me like that, aren't you?
Man,
I can't take
don't play me like a sucker.
that. You can call
Don't
me all kinds of ninjas,
Yeah.
but don't try to play me like I'm
I'm
a lollipop.
Black lollipops, there ain't none around here. But you know what, Charles, before we even, you know what, we done got ahead of our skis again.
I know.
Because you know what, we cannot do the WVON Morning Show without the Morning Show team. So I got to say what's up to Annette. What? Annette? Where's Das Vidania?
Oh.
My buddy.
Resting comfortably over there.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you got Das Vidania on the code hook.
Yeah. He's resting comfortably.
Don't let Peter find out. Don't let Peter find out, ladies and gentlemen. Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Das Vidania is on the code hook. So we'll check for him a little bit later. Plus, you know what? Did you know the musical conductor of the Soul Plane also doubles as a karate woman? Did you?
Oh,
you know what?
okay.
Sonia Escobar is a social media karate woman. Boy, she get to Charles. If somebody say something about the WVON Morning Show, let me tell you. Sonia Escobar?
Really?
Are you sure? Yeah. Let me see those fingers of yours, because they was on fire. Charles, you know what? Sonya is clearly in the den. You know she unleashes the lions even when we sleep. Sonya still got the lions rocking. Gotta show love to Miss Sonya Escobar, because Charles, she had our back last night and front. So you got to say what's up to her. We cannot fly the soul plane without Miss Sonya Escobar. But Charles, it's a lot going on. You know what? You know how I always have these problems with my Facebook live feeds and everybody that's always watching. For those of y'all that watch us on Facebook, we always have a problem. Charles, I think we figured it out.
Well, what happened?
My beloved Apple.
The company, Apple, has been putting a fix in on us. Charles, did you hear the story? Apple intentionally, whenever they release a new phone, makes your old phone not work. Really?
Cuts off 40% of the stuff that it can do. So I keep saying, y'all come in here with these Androids, y'all can make your stuff pop. I'm like, Houston, is a problem with the phone. Apple cuts 40% of the productivity of your phone when they release a new one.
So to make you buy the new one.
To make you buy the new one. Man. And then, Charles, then they switched up the money on us, because now they got these iPhones costing $1,000.
And you know, and these are the same companies, these big companies that the Trump administration and the Republicans are giving a tax break to. How do we trust them then to pour the money back into the economy that they're going to save from the tax bill when they do stuff like that?
You know what?
That's not fair.
You know what? I was like, you know what? Sonya, you are just a mess. Because I was reaching like, who's calling me? Who is calling me? I'm on the air right now.
Apple's calling you.
Apple calling me like, look, you keep it up. We're going to cut this one off,
they're going to say, hey, you want a free phone?
Hey, well, we might be able to work that out. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. Charles, I'm getting a little weepy, man, because today and tomorrow is my last 2 days of the year. We're going to talk about a lot more when we come back. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, last 2 days of the year, get sentimental, get weepy about it. Get weepy about it, you know.
I'm not going to be here with you guys next week. So, I need for you all to come to the New Year's Eve party that we are having New Year's Eve at the entrance. You can get the link on my Facebook page. Get your tickets, early bird tickets now. You know what? We ain't trying to kill you on the price. Nice $40, plus you got bottle service. Have a nice time. We got great music. Grown folks only. No hooligans.
Grown folks only, huh?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, you have a 30-year limit. Was it 30 and above?
30 and above. You know
I'm knuckleheads there, huh?
Oh no, we ain't playing none of that. And we got security. Okay.
Chance can't come?
You know Chance might come in. He might want to kick it off. Speaking of that, Charles, what time did you get home from Chance's Christmas party last night?
Oh man, it must have been about.
So that's remember, I'm coming to that. Man, Charles, I didn't know you'd be up this early this morning after you was at the Chance party last night. Did you go get your kicking on last night?
Get my chance on, you know. Get my chance on.
What is going on? Okay, they said the Apple computers, the Apple phones, but dang, what's up with the computers? With the computers? Ooh. All right, y'all. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone, you know what, I'm starting to get spoiled. We only have 50 viewers now, and it's 6:20. What y'all doing? Wake up! Denise Russell, what's up? What up, Johnny Medley? Johnny, it's about to be a year, and I still ain't got my daggone ribs, man. You tripping. What up, Randy Daniels? What up, Reese Mo? What up, Big Brother Kang, Mufasa Red, Shanika Finley, Elena Moore, Velda Stevens Howe. What up, Freddie Baez? What's up for the Puerto Ricans? Man, apparently everything right now, they getting it all, Freddie. They getting it all. What up, John Rembert? What up? Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all get Sonya's back when y'all see that stuff going down. A brother wake up to alerts. What's up, Marvin Hunter? What up, Dexter Childs Randall? What up, Nanette Jones? What up, Raymond Hubbard? Joe Soul, Charles Thomas. Hey, Charles. Oh, that's Charles right there.
Yeah, great.
What up, Kenya Loving Harmony Price? What up, Edward Porter? What up, Dennis Evans? What up, Twin? Hey, Twin. Hey, man. To the end, my dude. To the end, brother. Hey, man, you know, I saw your post the other day. To the end, my dude. To the end, bro. What up, Nikisha Harris Hobbs? What up, Alvin E. Norton? What up, Ian J. Leverson? What up, Quentin Lewis? What up, Tahira Talay Bay? What up, Renee Scott? Hello to the Maze Jackson page. What up, Maurice Williams, all the way in New York City? What up, Velda Stevens Howe, Lionel Nixon, Corey Warner? Damn, I gotta be reverend. Oh, dog, y'all saying because I got on my reverend. Y'all be mad I come in here with a collar on, wouldn't y'all? Wouldn't y'all? Y'all be mad at that, see? I can do the Reverend Maze on you, and I can do it real good. Real good. And I got my suit on. Well, you might have to make a blessing for the Reverend. Y'all know I can do the well, now, I ain't got my handkerchief, you know. Now y'all know I can get it in, right? You know I can hoop. Now you know you don't want to see me, cause I could put it on. If I had the Church of Maze, I get all the money. I'm telling you, I get all the money, and they'll have me in a lap. Whoa! Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talking Chicago 1698. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. And Charles, I thought you was gonna be a little late this morning, man. I thought you had. How late were you at the Chance the Rapper night at the museum? Didn't you?
I got in by 11:30.
You stayed out that late. You was keen on.
I had to wait for the backpacks to distribute it, you know, because I had to get one.
Did you get your backpack? Did you get
backpack and everything?
Did you get it for your grandkids too?
I got one for me.
Man, Charles, you turning into a backpacker.
I'm going to school every day, man. Here in the WVON morning show.
Well, apparently, Charles, last night, our Chicago, everyone's favorite rapper, in Chicago at least, Chance the Rapper.
Our leader.
Our fearless leader of, at least the leader of the millennials.
Well, I mean, he might be, according to the news, he's the black leader. I mean, I don't see any politicians or anybody who was elected doing anything. Ooh. So maybe, I guess, think about it. Think about it. He has more profile than anybody I know who's been elected.
Dang.
I think I saw, who else did they write about? Oh, that was his funny editorial cartoon.
I missed that cartoon. My email's not working. Tell me about that cartoon.
They had Attorney General candidate Kwame Raoul sort of rising out of a pack of cigarettes. Trying to explain why he's taking money from the tobacco industry, I guess. Oh, but I mean, he made the news. But other than that,
is he gonna call them and check them?
Huh?
You think he's gonna call them up?
Maybe, but
oh my goodness! Is this it right here?
Yeah,
wait, they gave him hair.
They gave him hair. Yeah, that's interesting. But
dang, Levine Tobacco 100s. Campaign.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into that thing. I'm just saying that we don't get very many looks at. Well, I mean, Toni Preckwinkle, she made quite a splash earlier this year.
Yes.
But now she's kind of faded into the.
Kind of fizzed out.
Yeah.
She made a big splash.
But then but all the positive press, it seems, goes to Chance, as far as black leadership is concerned.
I told you, man.
Region,
Chance,
so
they go. How long do you think before it's Chance for me?
Chance for me. I think.
How long before they hit us? You don't think they're going?
I think he's going to have to hit the magic 4-0 before that happens. I'm thinking 15 years, really, before anybody really takes him seriously as a mayoral candidate.
I mean, I think I think that the media is going to make him the black Messiah.
He's got to know something about life first, wouldn't you think?
Man, you don't want no problems with Chance. You don't want no problem. With Chance.
I admire the young man.
I do too, man. First of all, Chance is actually, man. I mean, he's actually putting a lot of people to shame.
I know.
I mean, it's like he is shaking all these corporations that seemingly no one can get to reinvest in the community. Why is Chance able to get people to do things that it seems like the other? I mean, he's getting these white corporations, big corporations that donate money to CPS and all that. How come it doesn't seem like we see anybody elected being able to twist their arms and do this same stuff? They ain't got enough Twitter followers?
I think that Chance has something to offer the corporations too. Because if he gets behind them, or they think that there's a chance he'll get behind their product,
then they could sell more Kit Kats.
Then they could sell more Kit Kats and more whatever else.
Concert tickets to the Wintrust Arena.
Yeah, it's a quid pro quo with Chance.
Are you suggesting that this isn't altruistic? Are you suggesting this is not purely altruistic?
Well, but no, it's not purely altruistic. After all, he does sell Kit Kats. I mean, Kit Kats aren't necessarily good for you, are they? I mean,
man, chocolate. You ain't heard about how good chocolate is for you.
Chocolate is
and those
good,
wafers,
good for you.
Those wafers, when they put the wafers in the snap, hey man, it's all. You know what? I'm telling you, man. Chance, I'm telling you.
No, Chance
is gonna be the bully pulpit. You go against Chance, and he gonna hit you with a Twitter, and it's gonna be 200,000 millennials at your door.
Now, I want to see Chance motivate the millennials next spring to vote and next fall to vote. Now, if he can do that, then I'm really standing at attention.
You know what it'd be interesting to see? Do you think? What I think he got some time. What if he got involved in the elections this cycle? Like in some of these state rep races where it's not as sexy, but you want to affect some change. Might be some, man. You know what though? Them waters might go a little too deep, so I'm gonna let that go. Charles, but speaking of young people, did you see this tragedy about the 5-year-old that has been shot twice? Twice?
Man, I read that. And
twice?
I said, what this child? How is this changing this child's life? That this child can be so immersed in a gun culture. Think about it. The culture of guns. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we had cap guns.
Oh, I used to love. Did you have the roll caps or did you have the round caps? Like where you could put the ring in and bap. I used to get the ring caps. The rolls. The rolls, they were funky. Bap, right.
They would never.
We used to hit them with the rock.
Right. But this kid is not dealing with cap guns. This kid is dealing with the real deal, man. That is deep. I had no concept of even how to come near a real gun when I was 5 years old.
But now think about at 5. Remember Charles when we had the two brothers here, and Charles said that he mistakenly shot himself.
Right.
And once he realized that he could shoot himself, he was fearless. Can you imagine sending that kid to your kindergarten class?
I know.
I mean, what does the teacher tell? If you don't do what I tell you, I'm gonna put you in the corner. Man, he at 5. Man, I'll shoot you.
Right, he'll go to his belt and say, "What?
What you want to do?
What you gonna do? Huh?
Yeah, man. And
say what?
What chance does that child have, though? I mean, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying black folks. How we gonna how do we get our arms around that? Charles, a little bit earlier though, you mentioned the tax cuts, right? The tax cuts, and you were saying these big old corporations, they getting these tax cuts. Well, I don't know if you saw the list, and we're gonna talk about it, but apparently corporate America is rewarding people with bonuses because of the Donald Trump tax cuts.
Yeah, man. Somebody's giving up like $1,000.
If you work for AT&T, everybody at AT&T is getting an extra $1,000.
Check it out. AT&T was the first company to go public with plans to pass along tax savings to workers, saying once the tax bill is passed, it would pay a special $1,000 bonus to more than 200,000 of its non-management workers.
Non-management. Now, Charles, but this is from Donald Trump. We supposed to resist. So the social media question of the day. Here we go. If your company gives out a bonus because of the Trump tax cuts, should you return it? Is it your duty to resist?
To resist.
Give us a call, 773-591-1690. Give Trump that $1,000 back and resist the bonuses. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
Live from the WVON.
You giving it back? Now, resist that. You resist?
Tell her to cue up the bishop. Tell her to cue up the bishop.
Hey, Sonia. So, wait, I just want to know. With all the Trump haters, everybody said, if you are awake, you giving that money back? Everybody I know at AT&T, all the black workers I know at AT&T, how many y'all, and I done seen y'all going crazy posting, how many y'all giving that money back? If your company hands out Charles, your company walks in, hello, Mr. Thomas, management. Nah, I'd be white though, right? How you feeling about Donald Trump right now? Because we got these $1,000 bonus checks. Trump or die. What you want?
You know what I'm gonna say?
Say you like it. Ruthie Moore's in the building.
I'm gonna use this money to make America great again. That's what I'm talking about.
You
right?
keeping it? Look. Look. So let me ask a question.
A prepaid debit card.
So on this, so just make sure it ain't the rush card. So check this out. So Trump, so now you got a $1,000 bonus. But they say, but you gotta say, make America great again to get the bonus. You doing it? Man, I'm be like, make it great. Look, you be like, duh, how great is it? How great you need it to be? Let me tell you, Donald Trump gonna have a lot of $1,000. Who giving that check back? Now, $1,000, and what if you get if the Trump tax cut got you $1,000 bonus and $200 extra every paycheck? Would you vote for Donald Trump? If it increased your pay by $200, I don't know what the tax will do. So let's say it gives you extra. So it gives you an extra $200 a month. For the average person, you see an extra $100 on your check every 2 weeks, and you got a $1,000 bonus. You rolling with Trump?
You still gotta say "Make America Great Again."
Yep. You gotta say "Make America Great Again" to get the check.
Wait, where you gotta say it at? And do somebody gotta record it? I still know the specifics. I know the specifics.
You know what? It don't make a difference what the specifics are. Because you know.
Video or just audio?
I mean, Charles, would you wear a "Make America Great Again" hat? Because every day you wear hats. Would you wear one for $1,000 per appearance?
A day?
Hell yeah.
Every time you wear it, you get
Excuse
$1,000.
me. Hell to the yes.
Let me answer that question for you. Let me put a question. I was going to say.
For a grand a day?
A grand a day?
A grand a day.
You'll
For
do
every
it.
day
I might wear
I
a
wore
KKK
a
hat.
Make America Great Again hat. Not that I had to vote for anybody or do anything, just wear the hat.
You gotta wear it every day.
Every day. Every day. $1,000 a day.
You'll take it.
Oh, man. Oh, hell yeah. You know, I wear a socks hat every day and they ain't paying me nothing.
I know.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Come on.
Well.
No. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to. It's what they say. Take the money and vote for Harold, right? I don't know. That's what they used to say back in the day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
So, are you a strong believer in the power of like product placements?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I know it's valuable. I know that people pay for it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, for $1,000 a day,
Mm-hmm.
not for $100 a day, probably not.
So I know earlier you guys were talking
I got
about
my price
the
on
Kit
that, too.
Kats, Chance the Rapper and the Kit Kat.
Right.
So he also lends his voice to a tequila commercial I've been seeing.
Really?
Yeah. Tequila.
I didn't know that.
Tequila. So the consensus is, I think people are saying, yeah, they would wear they wear the hat.
For $1,000 a day.
Oh man.
No, I think that the media is beating up on Trump unnecessarily. I think you have to wait to see what happens with this tax bill in order to make a judgment. But these people making these judgments right off the bat.
Too soon?
Yeah, they don't know what time it is with this stuff yet. They just don't know. I mean, they just can't. I mean, you know, we have instant analysis these days. That's what happens on television every day. You got these talking heads come up, and everybody has an opinion. And now the opinion is becoming the reporting.
Oh.
I think. I mean, that's what they offer. That's what CNN offers. Bunch of talking heads.
Do you think that that's a byproduct of the social media age that we live in?
No, it's a byproduct of the 24-hour news cycle and the fact that they don't have the resources to cover news for 24 hours.
Really?
So they just put these heads up and have them talk to fill up the time between the commercials.
Okay.
But there's plenty of news in the world. I mean, there's
Okay.
stuff happening all over the world, man. People starving to death, fighting and screaming, and all kinds of horrible things happening in the world that we aren't covering.
So in your journalistic expertise, do you think the news cycle needs to shut off, or like what's sort of like the solution? You think?
Well, ultimately, the solution is more news coverage of things
Okay.
that are actually happening.
Okay.
But we aren't doing it because it's cheaper for the corporation to put these talking heads up there, as opposed to really going to some African country to Niger and finding out why people are killing each other, finding out why slaves are being sold in Libya, doing that kind of work costs money. I mean, there used to be, the networks used to have foreign bureaus. Now they don't. They use freelancers in those places because they don't want the insurance liability of having somebody get killed who works for ABC. So what they do, they hire freelancers to do it for them.
Really?
You know,
And that's just to save money.
it's to save money. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
But you know, if you go back as recently as the 1940s and 50s, you will find that newspapers did less reporting and more opinion stuff back in those days.
40s and 50s.
Yeah, you don't have to go back that far. It only was in the Watergate era, really, in the 60s and the Watergate era, that the news media took on this independent kind of
All right, guys.
incorruptible.
Oh
Fear.
wow. Okay.
But now we're going back to really the way
We're back.
Back to opinions.
Y'all know nothing about Alexander O'Neal. Alexander O'Neal used to do a show. By the time the show was over, he sweated his whole process out. But that fool could sing. Man, I was in Minnesota, saw him. He had like 3 teeth left, but he could still sing.
That 3 teeth?
You know, this was the original. He was the original lead singer of the time. With Morris, and Morris Day kicked him out. That when Prince kicked him out. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. But you know what else, y'all? As we do every Thursday, and for my last Thursday of the year, Miss Ruthie Moore is in the studio. Ruthie, how you doing today?
I am feeling great. It's the holiday season. Good morning to everyone out there.
Ruthie, you know what? Are you like a Christmassy person? Do you get happy around these type of times?
Actually, no. I think that the culture of consumption is kind of depressing. I know you want to say that, but actually, no, the holiday season is not a joyous time for me because it reminds me that we have lost sort of like the meaning of Christmas and the holidays, and it's all about the gifts.
Christmas and white Jesus. Right? That baby, you say you remind me of the Eddie Murphy. I keep saying that baby can't have no Christmas. You ain't gonna let the babies have no Christmas. You don't go shopping for the Christmas. Come on now. Well, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a big Christmas guy either. My kids are big Christmas gift receivers, but I'm not a big Christmas guy myself. But speaking of Christmas, man, I was in the control room, y'all, and I think we might be doing another one of those WVON stocking stuffers. And boy, they got computers in there. And
Really?
Comcast, man, they paying your ComEd bill. Like, oh no. I was like, cause I don't pay my ComEd bill.
Till it turns pink?
No. You got, let me tell you, this time of year, brother, it can be pink all the way until it's 3 consecutive days of warm weather. See, don't nobody want to talk about that. They got that light heat program. So, brothers just stop paying the bill from December all the way to about March, April, depending. This climate change is messing some people up in the world these days. I'm here to tell you.
Climate change ain't real, made.
Oh, right. We in the Trump era. Speaking of the Trump era, though, Charles, Ruthie, everybody. Okay, first of all, I heard Nancy Pelosi say that tax bill, the tax reform bill, was the worst bill that had ever, not slavery, Vote Rights Act, Brown versus Board of Education. I mean, that was Supreme Court, but
right.
The worst bill that ever hit Congress floor was this Trump tax plan. Now, then I read that AT&T, Comcast, Wells Fargo, Boeing, Fifth Third, they all said because of this tax plan that Trump passed, they're gonna give $1,000 cash bonuses. That the trickle down, they ain't making it trickle, they making it rain.
They're making it rain, and they're gonna do it now. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna do it now.
But Charles, Ruthie, after everything we've heard, everything we've been told resist. If your company comes to you with the check, with that bonus check, should you return it? Should you take the check? I mean, because if you take the check, are you essentially agreeing that Donald Trump is making America great again?
So if somebody steps to me at WVON radio, for instance, with a $1,000 check to say, hey, in the name of the Trump tax cut,
we are about to make America great again.
We're going to make America great again by giving you $1,000.
And you sign your name right here.
Uh-huh. And
take it to the bank.
And, okay, and then what am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say, no.
I resist.
I resist. I don't want that check. Cue the bishop, right?
What? You got the bishop. Right, you got the bishop. Look, so, Charles, I'm just saying, though. What if the check has a big old fat, as you cash this check, what if it says on the signature line, you cash this check, I concur we are going to make America great again. Sign the check and you got $1,000.
And you got to sign the check.
And then look, and how about this one? Let me even sweeten it up. $1,000, no tax.
Ooh.
Oh, no tax? Ooh, no tax on it.
No tax.
All you gotta do, if you donate a percentage of it to the church, you good.
Oh, I'm gonna give 10. I'm giving 10 back to the reverend. I'm gonna see if the reverend's gonna refuse it.
So let me ask a question. I'm
gonna bless him real good.
I'm God gonna bless you real good. Look, you wanna talk about, all the reverends gonna be like, now y'all know that the President Trump, don't y'all resist that check. You get that check and you're tired and y'all bring it on down. Now, Ruthie.
And this ain't tainted money.
If
anything I'm tainted about it, it's tainted up.
The Lord giveth and he giveth again. And I won't mind. So, Ruthie, come on now. I'm just saying, Donald Trump, AT&T, you work at AT&T. I know people right now at AT&T. I know black people, the AT&T Black Employees Union. Are y'all gonna stand in solidarity and say, no, we resist the policies and the rhetoric of Donald Trump and you can keep your $1,000. Ruth, are you giving it back?
I'm giving it back, man. 1,000, that's really not enough. You saw what happened to Chris and Michelle after she sung at the inauguration. She still ain't recovered.
Okay. So Ruth is giving it back. Charles, you taking it?
I'm taking it, yeah, definitely, because I mean, that you can take it. That doesn't mean that you're going to vote for Donald Trump for re-election or that you approve it.
Nah, but you sign the check. They say you go in the Make America Great Again database.
Well, wait a minute, all these things you're attaching as you go.
Well, I'm saying.
Okay, let me back up
Okay,
on this whole tax cut thing. I think that what we're hearing, a lot of the rhetoric that we're hearing, now that they've passed it, this is the duly elected United States Senate, United States Congress. Yeah, I know the Republicans dominated, but now I think as reporters, as media, we have to look and very methodically see how it works. I mean, we have to do that. We got to stop preemptively criticizing everything. We have to see how it works. That's how I would do it.
Angel, if your company gives a bonus check for Trump tax cuts and the check says Make America Great Again, are you taking the check? Angel?
Oh, I'm taking the check. Are you kidding me? For all you people out there that don't want to take that check, hey, my name's Angel Clear, make it out to me. or you can pay. No, because what has the Democratic Party ever given you besides nothing? The higher tax in the state of Illinois, the crime in the state of Illinois. Are you kidding me? All the people out there, believe me, you sign it over to me or pass it, give me the money, let me know when you want me to meet me, and I'll be there.
Angel said sign it over to me. Look, in Illinois, though, they'll be like, hey, yo, you know what? I know y'all got those checks, but we got to take that and put that in the pensions, man.
But you know what, man? Like, the big criticism of the whole tax plan is that it's trickle down. And the critics say, well, you know they ain't going to let the money trickle down.
They not
making the money flow. They're making
Charles,
the money
they not
down,
trickling it down. They making it rain.
Making it rain. So, like, okay, let's see how.
Thunderstorms.
I think the question is, take the money and see how long they make it rain. How, if it's going to be raining 2 years, 3 years from now, still, are they going to be creating jobs with their tax savings?
Well, you know what? We are asking the social media question of the day. If your company gives a bonus because of Trump tax cuts, should you return it? Should you resist? It's the social media question of the day. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with
What they say?
coming
All
up.
right. Social media, I think the consensus, actually it's a little bit mixed. So
You must
a
have
lot of
missed
the
this in your
comments are
mailbox,
mostly
Mace.
hilarious. But one of the best
Charles, you
ones.
must have missed this in your mailbox.
Hold on, what's it?
What's this?
Oh,
Oh, man, we got my check. Man, we got my check. Look at that.
This
got my check.
This about right.
$1,000, man. $1,000. $1,000.
So Philip Samuel said, "I'll take the check and tell AT&T to stop slowing down my unlimited data plan." Somebody said that y'all return those Bush stimulus checks.
Yeah, the Obama stimulus check, did they return that? You know, they ain't returned that. No, man. It's all about the trickle down.
I'm just saying, get a check back. You stand on your principles. You sign that check and you in the Make America Great Again database. Hey, yo, I'm checking this out.
Just for 1,000?
Let me tell you what. People trade their kids' whole social security numbers away for less than $1,000. They be like, give me $350 and you can use my kid's social security number right now. Stop that. Now, y'all, you know, let me just be clear. If Donald Trump walked out and said if he went to every J&J Fish and every corner, everywhere where black people work, and says $1,000 check bonus, sign this and say Make America Great Again, guess what? People be lined up. It'd be a line down the block. You think in the black community? Oh, they'd be like, and then they'd be like, why you at it? Build that damn wall. That's what they'd say. you know black people be like, hold on. See? This is what I was talking about right here. Look, all the old black men that voted for Trump be like, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. I told you we was going to make America great again. I told you something about that Trump boy.
Oh, man, y'all funny, boy.
All right. Barbara Jackson from Facebook said, is this a one-time deal? 1,000 for hush money while they make gazillions.
You know, everybody talk all that. It's easy to talk that smack till your rent due. Let me tell you, mugs be like, let me tell you, people live for their $1,000 check that they get from their tax refund. That's their own money. They could have kept it. They be like, nah, take it out of my check, because I can't wait to get my tax back. My friend, that's your money, right? Give me my money. Let me spend my money how I choose to spend it.
Hey,
Yes.
he's got a great caller on the line.
Uh-oh.
But he's not really on topic, but his story is about the show and a major celebrity who's in the back of his car, who's listening to the show, and made you...
Is he number 3?
He's John with just the stars.
Got
I
it.
don't want to give up the celebrity's name.
Got it.
But he's, yeah. And so I told him, they're going to probably take 1 or 2 calls, but they're going to get to you before 7 o'clock.
Okay, we'll get to him.
Yeah. And his story will take about 2 minutes to tell. Okay?
Okay. Man, I'm just saying, depending on who the celebrity was. So, hold on. I was like, they're going to man that bullshit. Hold on. Because he'd be like, so...
Man, where Nate at these days, man?
Huh?
What happened to Nate?
I don't know what happened to Nate, man.
Just enjoy Nate.
Nate, I think Nate be on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know. This Kwame thing is hilarious. Oh, I'm gonna have to share this. I mean,
You know, I might consider doing it for some student loan forgiveness. I don't know about $4,000. Maybe for some student loan forgiveness. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Well, see, I'm just telling you. All I'm saying is, if you are a Trump voter, you are getting your money's worth. If you voted for Trump, perception-wise, he's delivering on whether it's an executive order, whether it's the second a person gets $1,000 check, and I think like certain ones of us probably are not as excited about $1,000 check. But $1,000 check to a person that's making $25,000 or $30,000 a year, you get $1,000. That's a big freaking deal. I mean, think about how many people are excited if they get $1,000 back on their income tax. Think about what happens in the black community. All these pop-up places are over people who are filing 1040 EZs, right? Which means they ain't working, right? They ain't got the
Itemized.
right. They ain't itemizing. They saying take it, and I want my $1,000 back. Now you tell them in the middle of the year they could do it. We're back. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building, plus Ruthie Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, now stay tuned, because coming up, we're going to be talking to Orve Divun Gee. Orve Divun Gee. He is with the Illinois Policy Institute, chief economist. We're going to be talking about the great Illinois exodus. But right now, it's the social media question of the day. If your company gives a bonus because of the Trump tax cuts, should you return it? Should you resist? Tony, what you got for us on the Top of Chicago?
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Morning.
Check this out, man. This ain't nothing but a bamboozle move. Check it out. This is your Christmas bonus. This don't have nothing to do with Trump giving out some extra money or them corporations or companies giving you anything extra because he signed his tax bill. Don't get bamboozled. So what you do, take that money, donate it to your favorite politician who you think going to replace these fools in D.C.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving my money away. I'm keeping mine.
And the companies are very specific. They're saying that they're giving money that they normally don't give the money, but they're going to give the money in the name of the tax cut. That's what they're saying.
And you know Tony got one of them good jobs where they still give out Christmas bonuses. Because let me tell you how the Christmas bonus work around in the real America right around these days.
We just got ours.
We got ours, and we got these envelopes, and I think the thing we were supposed to enjoy was the artwork, right? I think they took the time to develop the envelope, because what was inside.
Man drew a candy cane on it.
He drew the candy cane. Let's go to John. You're on the Talk Chicago 1690. John?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Yes, hey, John.
Hey, guys. You guys
blessed me in a way you won't even know. I'm a limo driver, and I'm driving the singer Johnny Mathis. And I had the radio station on, and him and his assistant, they were in the back. I didn't know it was on. You know, I had it on real low. So I said, oh my God, I got the radio, and I got to turn this radio off. I turned it off, and the assistant said, no, Johnny likes that. And he's listening to you guys. And he said, hey, who are those fellas? And I told him who, you know, I said, that's Mays and Charles and whatnot. He said, oh man, those guys are great. And I said, my grandson wants to be an announcer like you all. He said, well, see, they make it look easy, but it's not easy to do what they do. I mean, you've got to have wit, you've got to have a fast mind. Tell your grandson to work real hard. Because those guys, I mean, it ain't easy to do that. It looks easy. And they make it fun, but you got to have lots of skills. And long story short, I drove for him 3 times. Each time he'd say, turn this radio station back on. We caught Cliff Kelly one time. But he really loved you guys' show. And he said, man, it takes a lot of skills to do that. Hats off to those guys. And now my granddaughter is paraplegic. And we took her to the concert to hear him sing. He gave me and my wife tickets and all that. And he said, you know, you still got that chair. That chair's not right. She's not comfortable. Do you know the next day, he asked me, how much did that chair cost? His assistant wrote it down. I said, well, this is one of the best ones. It cost $3,000. He says, oh, man, that's no good. And the next 2 days later, he sent my granddaughter a chair for $35,000.
Wow.
I mean, that chair does everything. That dude, look, a lot of people think he's not a brother. That guy is hey, ask those people at the NAACP who was paying their Christmas bonus for a decade.
John.
The NAACP said Johnny Mathis would pay their Christmas bonus, give them $1,000 Christmas bonus for a decade.
You know what, John? I want to tell you, my brother, you just made my day. And for the WVON listeners who don't understand why that was such a big deal is because just yesterday, we was putting the fire on him a little bit.
Man, you know, Johnny Mathis, chances are Johnny Mathis would be listening to the WVON morning show.
And as we was clowning him.
As we were clowning him.
And he was laughing and enjoying. Do you see that? Let me just, can I just say something real quick? You see that? All them people that be trying to put bombs under our cars. We was giving that brother the business yesterday, but yet and still he took it as entertainment, enjoyment. But that, Charles, just tells me you never know who's listening.
You never know, man. You never know who's listening out there.
Johnny Mathis. Chances are. Okay, so I just got one more. I'm going to take one more call. Ron, you got to be super quick. Are you giving that bonus back?
You know what? You better put it in interest-bearing account because you know what? The government is coming back to get those companies could have given that bonus away. This is still, hey, Charles, this is still 3-card Monty, voodoo economics. When you're going to have to pay the deficit back. Don't go spend that $1,000. Go put it in the account and gain some interest because you have to pay it back.
Thanks, Ron.
All right, Ron.
All right, let me tell y'all what. When last time somebody gave you $1,000 check? You know, black people sometimes they crack me up, boy. They put an R on that check. I'm not touching that check. Is it cash? Do the money green? Do the money be green when you do it cash when you put it in your chase? I don't know, man. I think I'm keeping the money. It's
I'm
the top
keeping
of
the money too.
Ruthie giving it back.
I'm giving it back.
Okay. Well, it's the Talk of Chicago 1690. We'll be back after news, traffic, and the weather.
The Talk of Chicago.
Hey, I'm gonna give it back and borrow it from one of y'all.
I'm gonna sign it over to you. You gonna do what you gonna do is you gonna do like the Senator Kwame Raoul, and you gonna have it broken up into 10 $100 contributions signed over to somebody else, and then we just give it back.
LLC. So they can't track me. They ain't gonna track me. I'm slick as Oprah, as they say.
When the economy went to crap, well, who did we get a check from? Was it Obama in his first year or Bush in his last year? Where
It was
everybody got
Obama
like a
his first
$600
year.
check.
But did they give away checks, or was that?
I remember getting a stimulus check of like $600.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was Obama.
Yeah, that was Obama.
Okay, there's your answer. It's not a grand. But
Wait, no, that was Bush.
Was it Bush?
Obama did the infrastructure. Bush wrote the checks. Obama
Bush
did
was
the.
gone, man, because the economy didn't collapse until September.
I
Then
thought
the
it was.
election happened.
I just remember the check.
Then the election
Like
happened.
600 some
Thank
down.
you.
And
Thank you,
Obama
Ruthie.
was elected over McCain. And then during the
And
transition.
everybody got a check. I thought it
didn't
was.
remember
Bush
getting a check.
signed the stimulus bill.
Yeah, he got
Okay,
the
he
check.
being
The
signed
Booster
the bill.
Act.
Yeah.
But that's he got the checks getting cut. Where did that?
Are we putting him on this side?
I'm not sure. What do you think, Mace? Want to put Ruthie over here and put him next to Charles, or just put him right here?
Yeah, put them right there, cause I mean everybody didn't want got to move everything.
We just have to move the microphones over.
This mic to hit to there.
Click this in.
That
Take
mic
a
to
moment,
there.
y'all. Share the broadcast. I have not shared, which is probably part of the problem.
Theo Wilson from Facebook said, take the money and pay the property taxes. And then he said, take the money, pay the property taxes, and then make some ads against Barrios.
We're gonna switch this microphone to Charles. And then just remember to lean into it when you talk, okay? You gotta do it. You need a telephone book under your butt there.
Hey, no Me Too's, bro.
I asked her if she needed to sit on one, not if she wanted me to.
Hey, come on.
Cool. Does that work?
Perfect.
What's the matter with
These comments are just hilarious.
you should have seen it last week when we had Johanna here.
Oh, but I saw it. Mostly because I got a call and somebody said, you need to go look at this.
Look at what's
Because I normally watch on YouTube if I'm not here, but somebody said, you need to get on Facebook and look at these comments.
They was going so hard. I was like,
I
damn.
said, whoa.
Who were they going on?
Johanna.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't there then. I was reading, but I didn't.
But she's coming on. You know, she's going to talk about her implants being removed.
Oh.
Her posterior implants being
What
removed.
implants? What did she
Okay.
do those for?
That's it.
See? It's the perfect case. So everybody thinks she's like, and she had it, but then she had like it leaked. It was all bad. Think about, you know how many sisters would tune into that? She's like, I went and had all the stuff, and even though we're trying to expand the
She's
audience.
going to talk about that.
Huh?
She's going to talk about that.
She's going to talk about it and show pictures. She's going to Dr. BBL to actually have all of it corrected. So she's going to talk like she was a model, but even after supposedly being how she was, she even went and got implants, and she was like, she felt like a cartoon character because she had all of this. Like, it's so much that are like, if you ungawa Black Power, you ain't gonna care about that. But if you are like the 95% of people who ain't listening, you gonna be like, wait, what? And that's when we hit you with the.
But you know what? You have you watched She's Gotta Have?
Yes.
That
Right.
was-
See, it was a time. It's like, I know I ain't crazy. It's like that whole thing about She's Gotta Have It, and here's this girl that's beautiful, that everybody thinks is beautiful, and she like, but she still sees herself as inadequate, and it's like, I'm going to get butt implants, and then what's the name of the show? They got a whole show,
You gotta work the mic.
Assed Out,
Oh, what is it?
right? And then it's the deform.
What would you? I gotta look it up because it's funny.
You gotta speak right into it.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm good.
Let me
How
make
are
sure I got it. Orphe Divoon G. Gee. Gee. Whoa, like the karate. Gee. Hold on now. Let me do a favor.
Spell your name for me.
ORPHE
Okay.
DIVOUNGUY.
Now, where you get a name like that, brother?
I'm from Gabon in Africa.
Scoot in. I need you to scoot in. A little bit more. Okay? All right, so I need you to stay in that kind of space. If you all want to take a half, if you want to just go like a little bit over Ruthie, just a little, the other way, right there, you can stay.
What about me?
And then you can stay there, and then everybody can have a little breathing
Can you
room.
see him?
Charles, you can move just a little bit to the left.
Can you see?
I got him. That's what I'm saying. Now, remember, you should. So if you could just show him how to get the mic like this, so it's not like this.
So you got to tell us where he is though.
Right. Yeah. If you do it like, just make sure that he keeps it like, yeah, you're good. I got you. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna talk into it. That's it's very directional.
All right. So we are obviously on the WVON Morning Show. You know this is Facebook and YouTube Live. So just know that we're always on camera the whole time.
Sounds good.
All right. So now, how does a brother from Gabon get to be an economist in Illinois? And what you know about our economy?
That's a good question. So
Maybe you want me to save it?
No, without a doubt. I mean, that's a great.
Okay, so hold
I
on.
thought we start by talking about this, these people leaving, and then in the second, when we come back, then you can find out who he is, where he come from, and all that good stuff. And then we'll just call him. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. But, yeah. So you've been here since when? Like September?
September, that's right.
Cool. Oh, man. You got two little kids?
2 little kids.
Moving in. So you moved in, man, into Illinois, into the frying pan.
That's
Everybody
right.
else is leaving, you came.
That's right.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
I saw that Illinois has a lot of problems that need fixing, and so of course it's a pleasure to be here.
You got some papers too, man.
I do.
We get. You got some papers, man.
I do. We got a lot of talk now.
That's us.
Hey.
You cool? Good. My man.
I don't like my Christmas tie. Ho, ho, ho. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know we cannot do the WVON Morning Show without showing love to the WVON Morning Show team. And it's the top of the hour, so I got to get it in. Got to say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, and shout out to Das Vidania, who is hanging on a hook. Gotta say what's up to the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. Y'all know we can't get this thing off the ground without her. You know we got Ruthie Moore, our social contributor in the building, and now Ruthie, we got a real conversation about to happen. And I know we want to make sure our social media audience is engaged, so get them fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the WVON Morning Show, and I don't know if you've heard about the great Illinois exodus. Apparently, Illinois has lost its population. We are losing population, the biggest loss in the country. So we have a guest from the Illinois Policy Institute, Mr. Orphe Devon Gee. Got it. Orphe Devon Gee. Look, man, I'm trying to be like a news.
I did not think you could
See,
do it.
man, that's why I got my suit clothes on today, so I could be kind of professional.
Church clothes.
I gotta not make them church clothes because they want to fight me when I got church clothes on. And now we gonna have this conversation. I might have needed to wear some sweatsuits, some sweats. But Charles, Why don't you break down the
Yeah,
story?
and again, we're going to talk to Orphe Divounguy, who is the chief economist at the Illinois Policy Institute. And we just had your boss in here, John Tillman, a few months ago. We said, hey, y'all got any brothers working over there? And he kind of like, oh, well, and then you come on the scene, man. And we are so glad to see a brother as the chief economist at the Illinois Policy Institute. We booked you, and then the news broke yesterday that Illinois' population shrank by over 33,000, actually nearly 34,000 people last year. We ranked first in population loss among the 50 states, and none of the neighboring states here in the Midwest saw any population loss. And now Illinois is no longer the 5th largest state in the country. It is the 6th largest state. We've been replaced by Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Check that out, man.
Come on, man.
This place is shrinking, man. And when you see those numbers as chief economist, what are they saying to you? What is it saying about Illinois when people are leaving here in really by the tens of thousands every year?
That's right. So Illinois families suffer from low wage growth and fewer opportunities. And that's an indictment of politicians in Springfield who keep raising our taxes. What are you going to expect if you raise taxes? Then you get less opportunities and people run away from taxes.
Now, Orphe, before we get into this, Orphe Divounguy.
That's right.
That don't sound very south side or west side, my brother. So, are you from Illinois?
Not at all, not at all. I'm originally from Africa, a country called Gabon.
Okay.
And I studied economics, got all the way to where I am today through hard work, and now I'm here in Chicago.
But how did you get to Chicago? Like, how do you know what's going on here in Illinois?
I'm an economist, so I care about the data, right? I look at the data, and I'm not too focused on the politics or the rhetoric that we hear out there. And so my job is to look at the data, analyze it, and hopefully come up with good policy solutions.
So what's the data saying about Illinois other than the taxes? I mean, is it just taxes that are causing people to leave? Yeah. Some people say it's violence. Some people say it's bad education. I mean,
absolutely.
Break it down.
Absolutely. So first of all, if you have bad policies that cause investment to decrease, like higher taxes, what you end up with is fewer jobs opportunities. And when you have fewer jobs opportunities, well, you see the crime rate go up. People have nothing else to do. They don't have a way out of their situation. And so it's important to create a good climate, a climate that makes it easy to do business, a climate that provides jobs for people, and to begin fixing some of our problems here in Chicago, in particular in Illinois.
Now the people left, according to this report, this census report, between July of 2015 and July of 2016 and July of 2017.
That's right.
The state increased taxes in July of 2017. So what's going to happen during the next year?
Yeah, it's scary, and this is why this is a big story, because when your population is shrinking, and your labor force is also shrinking, you don't expect the economy to do very well. In fact, we expect the economy to slow down further in 2018.
But right now we're seeing that the rest of the country is saying that more people have responded to the Quinnipiac poll that says that they're doing good. Like most Americans are saying they're doing good. Why is Illinois different?
Yeah, that's right. So if you look at the end, after the end of the recession, most of America had this slow recovery, but at least they had a recovery. This year in Illinois, we lost 97,000 people in the labor force. People left the labor. 97,000 people left the labor force, while the U.S. labor force grew by 660,000 people approximately. So yes, we have a problem, and people like to pass the buck. The bottom line is, in 2011, we had a tax hike that slowed employment growth in the state. And then politicians didn't learn their lesson. What they did is they raised taxes again in 2017. So more of the same. and we of course we're going to get the same result.
Well, we have a sanctuary. We're a sanctuary state now. We're sanctuary city, sanctuary county. We're asking immigrants, undocumented immigrants, to come to the state. Are they going to be enough to, keep the state viable? I mean, by having undocumented immigrants come in?
I'll tell you what, we don't really comment on immigration policy. That's not really my area of expertise. But what we need is people. The economy doesn't work when there's no demand, when there's no people to buy goods and services, or even to produce them.
So in that way, sanctuary is a good thing, huh?
I can't tell you if sanctuary is a good thing or not. I know that being undocumented is an illegal thing, so I can't possibly endorse anything that's illegal. I'll tell you what, though, we need people in the state because Illinoisans are leaving, and the only way to get people back to Illinois is to cut the tax, rein in on the cost of government, and so that the Illinoisans can see their taxes go down. To make Illinois competitive again.
But when you say, it seems like you're talking Republican talking points when you say cut the taxes. Won't the most vulnerable, the people that are most in need be hurt by these tax cuts and these tax policies?
Listen, it's been happening. We keep raising taxes and we expect to get a different outcome. Who are the people who get hurt the most by higher taxes? It's not the rich. The rich pick up and leave. The people who get hurt the most by higher taxes are the poor. You got some of the highest property taxes in the nation. What does that mean for low-income families? What does that mean for, I hear you say all the time, what's in it for the black people? I'll tell you what, the black people need a leg up. And the only way to get that is lowering their tax burden.
Wait, man, this is my show.
I know.
My man, this is my show. I ask the questions. I ask what's in it for the black people. You don't tell me what's in it for the black people. That's what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Orphe Divun-Gui. That's right, Orphe Divun-Gui. He is the chief economist at the Illinois Policy Institute. Hey man, this is my chair. You let me ask. You stole my thunder. We'll let Charles ask the questions. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Mace Jackson coming up.
So the first thing that social media wants to know is who's that behind it?
Right.
That's
Why is it?
question number one. Who is that? Would she like to come in and introduce herself?
She
sure,
should.
If you have
because you should. Because the first thing it always happens is that.
Let me tap on the glass.
Because it'd be the white overseer to make sure that you say.
Our audience wants you to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Mostly because they see you through the glass.
Oh heck yeah, that's crazy. We'll make it out of there.
Yeah.
No, it's too late now. They know you. So who are you?
I'm Hillary Gowans. I'm the Vice President of Communications at the Illinois Policy Institute. I'm this guy's right-hand man.
You're his right-hand man.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. That's
So
what they pay me the big
now
bucks
is
for.
your job to make sure he says the right things?
There's no telling Orphe what to say, but I help him.
I'm a black man in America. Trying to tell me what to say.
He's a smart guy. We gotta make sure that he can translate his economic wonk into stuff that normal people can consume.
Got it. You got any black people on the communications team?
We don't right now, no.
They're gonna help you. They'll probably be able to help you translate.
This guy's on my
But
team.
we like it. We like that you were responsive to the fact that we said, hey man, but you can't be asking my questions. Don't steal my thunder again, bro. You that's the quickest way. It's like
Everybody's listening to you, man. This whole city's listening to you, man.
Listen, I am honored to be on your show, sir. Thank you very
I
much.
was just saying, anticlimactic. It's like, everybody's like waiting. You like, hey, but before you get to it, and if you said what's in it for the black, right? That's what I say. What's in it for the black people?
Yes, sir.
Nah, I'm not, sir, man. I'm amazed. And hey, brother, I appreciate you proactively answering the question. I think that it's dope that people come into and are prepared. Let me give you some. Let me get all this. I think it's great that people come in, with the proactively trying to answer the question,
Awesome.
Whether we agree with the answer or not, or it is the beginning of the conversation. The fact that you came in and it was part of your thought process is important, and what we need to do is make sure that people don't run from the question but run towards it. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. You got the camera.
Yeah, I think Celine makes the.
And you got also Ruthie. Don't forget she's got the social media
Gotcha.
question.
Yeah. Well, I'm listening to Celine's question here, which I thought was.
Okay. You want to ask them that when you're looking for it?
Yeah, about.
So if you do Control F, and then
What?
to find this question, you do Control, and then you type in the beginning of his name, S-A-L.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I got it.
Aha,
Okay.
there you go.
Got it, okay.
And then just to get out of there, you just click done. So Dennis Evans from Facebook wants to know, are you a listener of the WVON morning show?
I started listening very recently, actually, and so that's why I'm aware of this question, this very famous question now. What's in it for the black people? I'll try not to ask the question again, though.
Okay.
No, you go do what you got to do, man. Whatever. Pretty loose around here. So you're actually a PhD kind of guy, right?
Yes, sir.
A PhD. Okay.
Okay. What's your area of like expertise, like your niche?
So tax policy, labor markets, looking at the effects of policies on labor market outcomes,
Gotcha.
employment, wages.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess we about to come back. Orphe Divungi.
Your tie is very nice.
Karate man, you ain't noticed I have a Christmas tie? They say I look like a church man today.
You got to teach me how to make those knots,
Huh?
This is beautiful knot.
Hey man, Africans make these knots, man. I learned this knot from a Nigerian.
There you go.
I know some Nigerians that can make the knot go from here to here, man. Like they can straight up give you a knot. They get the double, triple Windsor on your butt, but no, then they be. But then the tie be up to here.
That's right.
Right? You do the triple one red. Then they be like, that's the, but look, your tie be right here to your butt to here. And they be like, oh, that's the style, man.
How did you get that Celine question back again?
So you go Command F, and it'll bring up the search bar, and then you just type in the letters of whatever you want. So you push
Okay.
S-A-L. So it's not
Chat room, podcast, and more on the World Wide Web at WVON.com.
It's right now it's gone just because you don't have to look back. So it's like you gotta copy and paste the caption.
Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly.
Deck the house with balls. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building, plus Miss Ruthie Moore, our social commentator. But we are talking to Orphe Divungi. Now, Orphe is the chief economist. That's the chief. Wait, does that make you the HNIC of the economy at the Illinois Policy Institute?
You do know what HNIC means, right?
No, I do not.
Since my brother's from Africa.
Ah, that means.
So, he's not even used to that.
That means you are the head Negro in charge.
That would be me, sir.
That would be you?
That's correct.
Okay.
I want to ask you about, you look at the cranes downtown. You hear Mayor Rahm Emanuel say that Chicago is the #1 city for corporate relocations in America. I mean, it flies in the face of your narrative that this is a shrinking economy in decline. Reconcile that for us.
Oh, absolutely. So, first of all, corporations don't create the most jobs in America. Small businesses do. So, instead of looking to get tax credits for corporations, what we need to do is create an environment that allows small businesses to thrive. in Illinois.
You don't believe we're doing that?
We're definitely not doing that.
But how, do we have the capability or the access in the black community to really start building these businesses? It seems like there's so many hindrances to black entrepreneurs starting businesses in our community.
Listen, I'm right with you. The bottom line is, if you take cash out of people's pockets, households, white, blacks, Hispanics, doesn't matter. They can't do anything. They can't invest. They can't start a business. They can't flourish. So what we need to do is actually allow people to keep more of their paychecks in order for them to start creating opportunities for themselves.
But if they keep more of their paychecks, doesn't that take away from the essential services that the government provides them?
No, listen, if you look at the data, again, remember, I'm an economist. I can't comment on politics and all that stuff. I'll tell you about the data, though. Is state and local workers, their salaries grow way faster. First of all, they're higher than the average private sector worker, but on top of that, they grow faster than wages in the private sector. So you get a big divide between private workers and state and local workers.
So you're saying that we got to build businesses to create jobs to keep people here. Is that the bottom line on what you're suggesting?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying that if you allow people to keep more of their paychecks, they can go out and start businesses. If you get rid of requirements, mandates, government mandates like occupational licensing, for example, that require a barber to get a government license just to cut hair. Listen, I cut my own hair every day. I trim it up and everything. If I wanted to cut hair for my cousin or my friend, all of a sudden I'd be breaking the law.
Ruthie, go. You got questions from social?
We have a question from Ron Lewis from Facebook, and he wants to know, what type of power do you actually wield?
I don't. All I have is my mouth, right? I'm gonna keep speaking the truth. I look at the data. I come out with reports. I speak the truth. I expose the corruption, and hopefully that's gonna help us get forward. And I get invited to cool shows like this to get to talk about what's really going on.
Well, this show is by and for black folks. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a question. As an African brother, coming here and relocating in Chicago, what's your reaction? What do you think about a Chicago black person as you have seen us?
Oh yeah, I see every day. I see on the streets. I come in. I live right in the Loop. I go into work every morning. I see people struggling, and I think it's sad. I think it's sad that I see so much struggle.
Now, where do you see this struggle? Because you live in the Loop, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. But the black, I see black people like myself every day, struggling. I get up, I get out of my apartment, I walk down to my office. I see black people struggling, and I see the struggle every day, and it breaks my heart.
Do you feel a disconnect between you being an African and ourselves being the descendants of chattel slaves? Do you feel a disconnect there?
I hear this question all the time. This is not the first time. We had colonialism in Africa, and it's still going on today, actually. Special interest, former colonial powers controlling the political narrative and the environment in African countries. So yeah, we've gone through a similar struggle. But the big difference is in Africa, we got no government to rely on to give us any kind of social services, right? We fight hard to make it. And the only way to make it, really, if you want to change what's going on here, is to get people in the state of mind that, I need more of my paycheck so I can go out and create my own opportunities and I can make it.
Why do you think there's a difference here than in Africa when it comes to social services versus the work ethic?
Well, if you got a big safety net, you come to rely on somebody to do something for you. Where I come from, we have nothing. We don't have a safety net. So all we want is to keep a little bit more of our paychecks so we can go out, get an education, and get out. You know, the truth is that if you allow black people to compete, black people strive. You know, we're competitors, we're fighters, we make it. In fact, most times we're much better than the other guys, and that's why we thrive in places where we have a level playing field.
Orfe, you know what, you said, let us compete. When we come back, I want to talk about that. Who is blocking us, in your opinion, from competing and participating in the economy? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Talk Chicago 1690. You got a question, comment, concern? Give us a call, 773-591-1690. We are talking to Orfe Divungi. He is the chief economist at the Illinois Policy Institute. We'll be back after news, traffic, and the weather.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
Facebook went left. And so the conversation has shifted a little bit. So I have a couple questions from you. The first one is from Amina from Facebook. So she said, I want to hear his immigrant story. How did he find his way to Illinois? So can you talk a little bit about that so we can get a little bit about your background?
Good question.
Oh, absolutely. So I come from a country that, you know, we have nothing. We have we had 3 presidents in the last 50 years. So there's no real democracy. There's no real freedom. And so my parents did everything they could to get me to go to school in Europe. So I went to school in France, for example, because this is the only way I could get an education. Schools are closed half the year where I'm from. And so I went to school in Europe, got an education, worked really hard, so I wouldn't have to return to my home country where there are no opportunities. And that's how I ended up here.
So let me ask the question.
Yes, sir.
So, where is Gabon?
Gabon is right on the equator by the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. So, oftentimes the people who leave the country to go to Europe to be educated are often those of stature, of status, of elite. Mm-hmm. What did your family do before that allowed you to go to France?
I'll tell you the story of my grandfather. My grandfather woke up at 4 a.m. every day. Because his dad woke him up to go hunting. He comes from the village, from nothing, right? But here I am today. And
what happened? Okay, so from your grandfather, where did your father do?
It's called work ethic. It's, you know, he went hunting every morning with his dad, and then his dad sent him to school. You know, went to school. He used to tell me the story. He used to have one outfit.
What did your dad do?
My dad became an airline pilot because my grandfather paved the way through hard work. Through, you know, minimal education. He had like a 9th grade education, you know, so
he was an airline pilot, and that afforded you the opportunity to go to France, to go to school.
That's right.
What happened after France?
So I lived there, worked hard, got some scholarships, came to America, got an undergraduate degree from Stony Brook University
in New York.
That's right. And then worked really hard to get another scholarship to go get a PhD.
Where'd you get the PhD?
In England.
Where?
University of Southampton.
University of Southampton in England. Then what happened?
And then I finished there, got a job teaching economics at the university. And
which university?
University of Southampton and the University of Portsmouth. So while I was in school, to pay my bills, I started teaching.
So that brings me all the way back to my original question.
That's right.
How does a guy from Africa to France to England become an expert on the economy in Illinois? And if you say that you're not political, but you say that it's the political policies, how does that all work?
Yeah.
How do you know about Illinois?
Because of the data. The data tells me about Illinois. I could look at the census data and tell you the demographics, that tell you the outcomes, labor market outcomes for Illinoisans, wages, conditional on their education,
so
their race. Their
tell me why then do black people seem to do not well here in Illinois from your perspective? Specifically, black people.
You know, it's everybody, but yes, black people suffer more in Illinois than anywhere else in the country. And it's because of policies that keep people down.
What policies?
I gave you an example. Occupational licensing requirements is one example. Higher tax burden. You know, if you're black and you come from a low income background, you need to catch up to the other guys.
So what about the middle guy? What about what about a guy who's done decent but is still trying to make it, like has a job? Not the guy who got out of jail or is trying to get a barber's license.
Oh, absolutely.
Talk to me about the
I'll give you an
middle.
example of myself. I come to Illinois and I realize that, in Chicago, on my income, with 2 children, it's hard. It's hard to save a penny. I realize that, I'm a PhD economist, working hard, living in Chicago, and
but if you move to the Loop, real talk, it ain't that damn hard. Like you making choices now. Like you have choices that white folks get to make.
I'll tell you what.
If you living in the Loop.
I'll tell you what. I only moved to the Loop because I didn't know anywhere else in Chicago. And now that I know, I'm moving out.
Let me tell you though. But let me just tell you, you only know that because you can afford it. Your income bracket allows you to afford that. Because let me tell you, if you was moving to Chicago and you was making $70,000 a year, when you looked, you wouldn't be looking at the Loop. No matter what you knew about Chicago, you know you couldn't afford that. Now, I'm not begrudging you the money, but again, I asked the question, when you tell me that you see it every day, right? When you tell me you see it every day, but you live in the Loop, I don't live in the Loop, but I frequent it often. And with the exception of State Street and Washington, right? I mean, State Street and the Michigan, they pretty much, and underneath Wacker, where are these poor, struggling black people that you see every day?
Let me ask you something. Why is it that you don't see more black people living in the Loop? What's so wrong with that? There should be more black people living in the Loop.
I mean,
right?
I agree with you 100%.
Right? There should be more black people.
I ain't gonna apologize because I
we got it.
Nobody suggests, but does living in the Loop mean that you succeeded?
Exactly.
Okay, so wait, you can live in any neighborhood and succeed. You can live in any neighborhood and be successful. You can live in any neighborhood and be successful. Where you live is not my point. What I'm saying is black folks don't the concentration of black folks, when you say you're seeing black people struggling every day, you ain't seeing that in the Loop. That's my point.
You see black people struggling in the Loop, who are struggling in the Loop.
How do you define a black person that's struggling in the Loop?
Homelessness, man. You see that all the time in the Loop. I live in the Loop.
Homelessness in Chicago is probably some of the worst I've seen in America. Not just in America. I lived on 3 continents.
It ain't like San Francisco. It sure ain't like Atlanta. But it's not about where you live. My question again is, when you say a statement, I see black people struggling every day, I would say when I see homeless people, it's equivalent across the board downtown. Right? It's black, it's white, and I see more white people because they run the black folks out. So when I'm saying that, like, do you frequent out west? Do you frequent out south? Where are these black people that you're talking about that's struggling that you see every day? Because if I see a guy downtown walking with shopping bags, it's not my assumption that they're struggling. I'm just asking.
I'll tell you what.
I'm saying most people I see black in the Loop are participating in the economy or going to work.
I go to my grocery shop and
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Plus, my girl, Ruth and Moore, in the building. She is the social commentator.
Facebook, slow down.
And then, live in studio, we have Mr. Orphe Divungi. Now, Orphe is the chief economist. I think we've established that you are the HNIC at the Illinois Policy Institute. And so, brother, you are breaking down this economy. Charles, when we left, we were talking to Orphe about the policies. We were talking about black people being held back and those policies. What are some of those policies that you see that hold black folks back here in Illinois that are different?
Every time you raise taxes, which is what is happening frequently in Illinois, because our government costs are out of control, you take away investment that creates jobs that benefit everybody, not just black people. But black people need it the most, and they need it the most because they're coming from behind. They got to catch up, and so what we don't want is investment killing taxes. That we see frequently. 2011 we had a tax hike. 2017, we have another tax hike. Who can afford to pay those taxes?
Well, we also have taxes like a bag tax. We have the ill-fated pop tax. we have sales tax increases. So it's just not income taxes. It's all full range of taxes.
But you tell us, brother. Tell us what those taxes are.
It's some of the highest property taxes in the nation. When your property tax bill is now almost equivalent to your mortgage payment, who can afford to live like this? Certainly not people who are trying to make it.
What other factors or policies besides taxes impact the out migration here in Illinois that you see?
Oh, absolutely. So again, collective bargaining laws. You look at teachers' collective bargaining, for example. The fact that teachers in Illinois can actually strike. Their teachers' collective bargaining laws take resources away from kids. There's lots of economic research that shows.
So let me ask you a question though. How do you balance that? Because one of the things that we talk about here is the role that teachers and public service have played in getting black folks to the middle class. So when you go against those teachers and you go against their rights to collective bargain, how does that impact the black middle class in your opinion?
So remember, it's not an indictment on education. I'm one of those kids that got an education, benefited from some good teachers. The problem is when teachers start to take resources away from kids. Right? What ends up happening is those kids end up being worse off. In the short run, they get a worse education, but in the long run, we find that they actually earn less and are less attached to the labor market than kids that got all the resources they needed.
Now, you talking about the unions in Illinois. Man, you might be on your way back on a boat back to Gabon.
Dang, a boat? Dang, brother.
A boat back to Gabon, man. If you start talking about the unions in Chicago.
I'll tell you what, this has nothing to do with unions. People should have the right to join or not to join a union. I'm just talking about, giving some of the resources back to kids. There's no reason why a high school coach should be earning a $500,000 pension, or a college coach should be earning $500,000 pension. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Most of us that work really hard will never have $500,000.
Should we have a financial transactions tax in Illinois?
Absolutely not. Why would we introduce another tax on top of all these other taxes?
Because it seems like always the tax is on the poor people, not the rich people. And so the financial transactions tax seems to be something that can help spread it out.
I'll tell you what, why not just reduce taxes for everybody instead of picking sides and choosing, hey, I'll tell you, simple economics. If you tax investment, you're going to get less investment. If you tax job creation, you're going to get fewer jobs. That's the bottom line.
Let's face it, if we don't tax, how are we going to run and operate and fund social programs that people depend on in Chicago and Cook County in particular?
Hey, but the only way to do that is to get rid of wasteful government spending.
Man, you know that John. You sound just like that John Tillman, man. Do y'all compare notes?
It's so funny. It's so funny you say that because I only just met John Tillman a little while ago, and I've been in Chicago for 3 months. So it's about good policy. It's not about the politics. I don't care if you're blue, red, I came here to talk about policy, not politics.
Let's go to the phones.
Absolutely.
Brother Hall, you on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Hello?
Brother Hall, come on, give it to us.
Yes, sir. I'm going to give it to you. Y'all just excuse me. I got all my grandkids dropping them at school. But listen, let me just say this, Brother Mays and Brother Charles. That brother is absolutely on target. When black folks try to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, we don't get that same respect. Let me give you an example. When the Latinos come here, they come here and they assemble what they call one of them fruit trucks or corn trucks, whatever it is, on a wagon. And they push that wagon, and no one harasses them. Black folks get out there with the few towels and little things trying to make $1, and particularly the ones that's fresh out of the penal institution, and they're being harassed. So the fact of the matter is that if the unions and people, if we see it, they see it. The unions are not fair with us. They're not fair with us, and we keep giving them a pass. We own the politicians, but we allow the unions give them a pass. Lastly, for instance, go downtown and look
Brother Hall. Let's go to Thurgood. You're on the Talk Chicago.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you for all you've done this year. This argument is you can't see the forest for the trees. There are abuses. This gentleman moments ago suggested that we should reduce the pensions we pay teachers. What he forgets about, what about reducing and taxing the billionaires? Mr. Bloomberg, he admitted on tonight's show his personal worth was $45 billion with a B. Therefore, a fraction of his wealth, tax 10%. He had $40 billion instead of 45. You mean to tell me you're going to look at the extremes of some teacher got a $500,000 pension? Poppycock. Okay, you can.
Did you say poppycock?
Poppycock. Okay.
Are you trying to represent the British for my man right here? Poppycock.
Poppycock. Okay, what about cutting defense spending and investing in teachers? Here in Chicago, Boeing Corporation, $25 billion in defense contracts in 2015.
Okay, Thurgood, we're gonna ask that to Orphe.
I agree with you to some extent. The fact that maybe there need to be some other cuts that need to be made, absolutely spot on. The fact that what you said about raising taxes on some folks makes absolutely no sense. If you tax people who create jobs, you're not going to get more jobs. That's just the bottom line. So, what we ought to do is rein in the cost of government by getting rid of some wasteful spending, and then
give me some examples.
And then give some relief.
What's the wasteful spending?
Well, again, I don't understand why people get up every morning, go out to work, and earn way less than state and local workers. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why not have a level playing field for everybody?
I'm gonna need you to boil it down, because I'm gonna say this, right? Yeah. You got the big box, like you got the big taxes. Taxes are bad. We being overtaxed, and labor and wages and all that good stuff. But I need some specifics to black folks.
All
And
right.
look. So we got to go to traffic and weather. When we come back, I don't want big boxes. I want to know specific issues that can be dealt with economically that deal with black people. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:47 on the Talk of Chicago. We'll be back. We're talking to Orphe Divungi. He is the chief economist at the Illinois Policy Institute. They're getting them papers. Let's go. It's the Talk of Chicago.
More of the morning show with ladies.
Go ahead.
Coming up.
Ruth and
All
Mo.
right, are you ready? I have a few rapid fire questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so the first one is, and this is like a two-part question from Shanisha and also Wilson from Facebook. They want to know about your interpretation of the tax bill, and will the U.S. tax plan help Illinois, and how so?
First of all, putting my chief economist hat back on, we don't comment on federal policy. We really believe that tax policy should be left to the hands of the state and local government.
Who is we?
Illinois
Policy
Policy Institute,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you can't talk about that.
I don't really comment on federal policy, but I can tell you what. I can tell you that if federal policy gives us a tax cut, then it's going to be good for the economy, and people should enjoy that tax cut, because you know what? It's their money in the first place.
Okay, so Kiana Hughes from Facebook wants to know, what do you think about regulating and taxing cannabis? Do you think this will help the Illinois economy?
So again, under my chief economist hat, I can't comment on policies we don't comment on as an organization. But what I'll tell you is that states that have done that have seen population growth, and in Illinois, what we need is population growth at this point.
What have they done?
So if you take the example of Colorado, for example.
Well, I mean, you're saying that states that have legalized marijuana have had population growth.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a lot of migration, inflows of people from everywhere. And so I'm not going to take a stand on that, but I can tell you that we need to deregulate in order to see people thrive in Illinois.
Okay, so so you are actually getting a lot of pushback because of your separation between policy and politics.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you mitigate that with your position, as well as being a black immigrant? So how do you mitigate being able to talk about policy and politics, working for the Illinois Policy Institute?
So I don't take a stand on politics because, first of all, being a foreign worker in the U.S., I can't even vote. So it doesn't matter to me. Blue versus red doesn't mean anything to me.
So you're a guest worker.
That's right. I'm a guest worker in America. I'm here to talk about Illinois policy. I'm here to hopefully encourage a better policies that actually increase economic prosperity in the state, and that's it.
So that's how you sort of like mitigate it, is because look, I don't vote anyway.
Exactly. I stay out of it. That's right.
Interesting. Okay.
So are you a resident? Are you a citizen?
No, I'm a guest worker. I'm here to do a job.
How you feel about the guest worker program? Where corporations can pay for citizenship.
Oh,
what's that program? I can't think of what it is, but you know what I'm talking about. The guest worker program.
I don't think citizenship anywhere should be for sale. That's just my personal opinion. But again, we don't really do immigration policy either. So that's really not my area of expertise.
What do you think is the most impactful thing that can be done in Illinois to positively impact Black folks? Cut taxes.
Allowing Black folk to compete, create a level playing field.
How?
By getting rid of barriers to entry. So
which barriers?
Occupational licensing is one. I just did a report on requirements is one. I just did a report on the prevailing wage that basically keeps contractors from bidding on public sector construction jobs.
Let me ask a question. How many Black folks have you seen in the NACS codes, employment-wise, that would say that we have the workforce to even be in that space? Right? Do you look at that
absolutely.
Let's come back. We'll come back.
Yeah, sounds good.
Santa Claus wants some loving. Santa Claus wants some loving. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Top of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. You know, we got our social commentator, Ruthie Moore. Ruthie, we're going to let you get one in before it's over on air. But we are talking to Orphe Divun Gee. That's right, Orphe Divun Gee. He is the chief economist for the Illinois Policy Institute. Man, I'm telling you, you were sounding awful John Tillman-like. So I want to know, what do you have specifically that can impact outcomes for Black people?
So I just finished a research project dealing with prevailing wage laws in Illinois. So the prevailing wage mandates inflated wages for public sector construction sites. So you have workers who work on public sector sites getting paid a lot more than other construction sector workers. And some people say, hey, that's a great thing. Well, I say, look, those laws create barriers to entry. So, you end up with, first of all, fewer contractors being able to afford these higher labor costs. And when Black folk tend to come from behind and have smaller businesses to start with, it keeps them out because they can't afford these mandated higher labor costs. So that's one way. That's one way that repealing the prevailing wage law can actually help.
How many people does that? How many contractors do we think that impacts?
Well, one reason we don't see a lot of Black people in the construction sector probably has to do with that, right? So if you have laws that restrict, create barriers to entry, that's a problem. In fact, in states that repeal the prevailing wage laws, what we saw is a decrease in the wage gap between Blacks and whites.
But we're not getting the jobs, brother. That's the issue. The issue is not the issue is not the contractors in most cases. The issue is getting people to work at the projects. How do we work there? How does that happen? Because ultimately with prevailing wage, then once they get on, they get to make the same money as the white folks. So how do we get people actually getting the opportunities and the jobs to be able to pay that prevailing wage? So
again, the states that repealed the prevailing wage saw an increase in construction sector employment. So
For
more
blacks?
for everybody.
Okay, like, bro, but here on this show, I don't care about everybody. We don't. We really don't, and that's the problem, right? So the problem becomes that everybody comes in here and talks to us about what's good for everybody. All lives matter, everything, but then when we see it, black folks have the highest unemployment in the country here in Illinois, and we talking about everybody. Now, this is what I'm going to say, right? And then I'm going to pass this on. John Tillman, if you're going to hire somebody black to come tell us about everybody, then we back in the same spot, right? I understand because you the chief, so you got everybody, but when you come here, you need to be talking about what's up for black people, because you went there, but then you went all the way back out into the everybody world. You got questions, go ahead.
All right, so from Facebook, basically the conversation is centered around a lot of the differences between policy and politics and you as a black immigrant. And so the question that I want to ask you is basically, what's the takeaway from the Illinois Policy Institute? What's in it for the black people? What do we need to know today?
We need to know that if black communities are coming from behind, they need a level playing field. We know that black people, myself being black, I know that I can compete if you give me the opportunity to compete. And so, let black communities keep more of their paychecks. Allow people to, keep their homes. Home ownership used to be a way up the economic ladder. It's not in Illinois because of high property taxes. So let people thrive, and black people will thrive because that's what we are. We're competitive, and that's why we succeed in arenas like sports and entertainment. Because
okay, I have one more question
absolutely.
from you from Facebook. Dennis Evan wants to know, would you wear a "What's in it for the Black People" t-shirt around your coworkers and family?
Absolutely. In fact, I came here prepared to ask for one.
Oh, you ain't got to ask. You got to pay, brother. You got to pay. You making all that PhD money, living in the loop. You can ask all day. I got them for you. We got the special ones for you. Right there. The special ones. Now, look, man. I guess my question here becomes, I understand about the taxes, but what specifically are you proposing besides keeping more of your paycheck what are policies that will impact black folks?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going into 2018. And, every time I turn on the TV, I hear the politicians. And I stay away from the politics, and I look at the policy, and I say, all I hear is really bad policies being proposed in 2018. We just had a tax hike that caused the economy to shrink. When we see people leaving the state, it means our economy is shrinking. Our biggest problem in Illinois is having some of the highest property taxes in the nation. And every time we increase the tax burden, you know what? It doesn't matter what if you want to talk about other policy, the first thing we need to address is the tax climate. People run away.
But it ain't the same for everybody, like you said.
Let me ask this. What about this notion of a progressive income tax, where wealthier people will pay a higher rate of tax than those who make less?
Yeah, so the only thing that really worries me about the progressive income tax is who decides the cutoff and the brackets, right? Do we trust the same politicians that gave us the budget crisis, the same politicians that put us where we are today, to tell us, hey, you earn $120,000, you have a family of four, and you live, in the south side of Chicago, and you're trying to make it, and you're rich, so now we're gonna tax you 10%. Is that good for black people? No, it's not. It's gonna hurt a lot of families.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Economist Orphe Devungi. That's right, Orphe Devungi. He is with the Illinois Policy Institute. He's the chief economist there, giving us some insights as to what's in it for the black people from the Illinois Policy Institute point of view. Now, we're going to get him a shirt, man. We're going to get him a shirt.
Thank you, sir.
Right? No worries. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we are going to continue. We got another conversation. Charles, we talked the story about the law department and this whole thing of suing the estate of Quintonio LeGrier. Looks like somebody had to walk the plank. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's the Talk of Chicago, 7:59.
The talk of Chicago.
Thank you, my man.
Voice of the
Thank you, sir.
nation.
Thank you.
1690
Pleasure.
WVON.
Combative, but you held your own.
No, thank you very
You
much.
held your own. I appreciate it, man.
I would love to come back if you'll have me.
Come back, man. You come back, man. You're the lightning rod, man.
I'm
People,
loving this.
They hate you, they love you, whatever, you know. But I gotta hear all points of view.
Absolutely.
We definitely gotta hear all
I
points of
really
view.
love what you guys are doing here. It's a great thing, and I'd love to, if you have me back, and I'll go and wear the shirt. So.
Will you buy the shirt?
I will buy the shirt right now.
Nah, you can't buy it right now because they're locked up in the car and I can't run out. But I got you, bro. Make sure you got a business card. Get us a business card and we'll get to it.
Absolutely. Thank
Hey,
you.
the
Thanks for the
Inglewood
Yes, sir.
Ingles are gonna come by for a hot second, like anytime between. They're gonna show up. Give them 2 minutes because they want to play for the Hall of Fame National Championship. All right, my man.
Oh,
Nice meeting you. Appreciate you. Want to say anything to the people real quick? You can say something right here. Hold on. Go ahead.
What's in it for the black people?
Okay. Can I?
Wait, camera on me or you? I need to fix my face.
The camera's on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn the camera to you and I'll let you, cause, boy, you know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
All
say
right. So, from looking through the comments and things like that, I think that Amina summed it up the best at the end when she said that the Lion's Den is some of the most intelligent, petty people ever, and the comments literally ran the gamut from support for allowing this brother and the relationship between Africans and black people. So I saw the support, but I also saw a lot of the dissent because he was pretty disconnected.
Look, this is the deal, right? It's like we was happy to see the brother get the job. Look, so there's the what's in it for the black people component of it, which is we is happy to see the brother get the job, right? Like they went and hired a black person. We said you ain't got no black people. They hired, they responded. Now the fact that they had to go all the way to fucking Africa to go find somebody, to hire somebody because there ain't no economists here, that's one thing. The second thing is to have somebody come here and talk to us from an African perspective about what's going on in Illinois. I don't know if it connects to the audience or to the people. So when you go out and make this the spokesperson, right, you already know that black people in Chicago are already like, you African, right? Is already some conflict there, right? So you're not going to get, immediately, people are going to be like, side-eye, just how it is, because we know the relationship. But I don't know if it's like I feel like he heard 3 talking points from the show, right? He knew he had to say what's in it for the black people. He knew he had to say something about the soft suburban property taxes, and he knew he had to say something about the fucking barbers, because those are the things that, same talking points. Take it out, expand it for me. Talk to me about, really make it relevant to somebody who lives in Chicago. It's like, I just got to give you more back of your taxes, right? Like, give you more of your paycheck and do what with it, right? Talk to me about the structural stuff that goes on here in Illinois. And I don't know I think there's the answer of, yo, we gonna send us a black dude in here. And then, same handler stuff, right? You got the white overseer in the back of the window looking like, make sure you say the right stuff.
But the DM wasn't going though.
I'm telling you. It's like, it's the same. Here's the thing. Ain't nobody gonna get to come and just do the BS. Tell your viewers the stocking stuffer just played. Call now. Hey guys, the stocking stuffer just played. So give us a call, 773-591. Hold on. The stocking stuffer just played. Give us a call, 773-591-1690. We want to make sure that you all have an opportunity to win as well. 773-591-1690. It just played in the commercial break. Go ahead.
No, the thing is that you got to hear all ideas. You got to hear all ideas.
Did we hear any ideas?
When I read the script here from people writing in, they immediately fall back to the default position, which is the position that got us where we are today. And I don't hear any new ideas.
He didn't present any new ideas.
Be cool. I didn't hear any new ideas coming from our gallery here, and that's very interesting. He didn't really come up with any, but I didn't really hear any here, which makes me fear that I see people 3 months from now, 9 months from now, diverting to the default position again, which is the position that has gotten us into trouble. We have to really begin to have a conversation to find out what the new position is going to be, because it can't be this, but it can't be this, because I see people just falling back to the default position, which is a position that we've had for the last 20, 30 years, which has gotten us to this point. So, it's how the conversation begins.
I think that people are gonna relax to the default position if you give me bullshit.
Well, it's not bullshit.
I'm saying
it's just different.
Okay, I'm saying
we call it bullshit because we look at it.
No, I'm gonna say this. I call it bullshit. I'm not calling it bullshit because of the default position. I'm calling it bullshit because what did he come in here and say? Nothing specific.
He basically came in here and gave us a supply side economic theory that has gone in the face of liberal Democratic Party orthodoxy.
He said he could have said what he said this whole time.
We've been conditioned to react to that, and that's how we react. And that means we're falling back into the default position.
No, I think that if you come in and say, you saying the same thing that the white dude that we just came in here said, you ain't really telling us.
I'm
not talking about you. I'm saying when this guy comes, but when this guy comes in here, and it's like, now, y'all, we got a black guy on the team, right? And he's going to understand some of the issues. And then he come here and talk about everybody, first of all.
We
do black.
But that's minor stuff.
We do. Charles, if you want, I can say my point of view. Charles, my opinion is you don't got to debate me, my opinion. He came in here and talk about all lives matter. Anybody else come in and talk about some all lives matter, what do we say?
That's not stuff.
Everybody.
He can be quickly.
Charles, you ain't got, it's your job to defend him? Let me say my point.
You have to have a free range of ideas.
Charles, I understand so this is my free range of ideas. And when you come into the WVON morning show, talk about what's in it for the black people, what's in it for the black people, what's in it for the black people, then say everybody. So that's one. But then after he said give people more of their paychecks, which we agree, what else did he say? What else did he say?
I heard a lot of things, man. I'm not going to list it.
Did you?
He said a lot of stuff.
I heard him say a lot of stuff too.
I don't agree with it.
I just don't know what the hell he said. That was innovative. I understand though.
Facebook is divided. Half is agreeing with Charles, and it seems like some people are agreeing with you, man.
Hold on. Y'all see my tie? Merry Christmas. Yeah, baby. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bo. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. But y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the whole WVON morning show team. Gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Shout out to the homie Das Vidania that is on the hook. Gotta say what's up to Miss Sonia Escobar. She is the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Miss Ruth and Moore. Ruthie, social media, we got them going crazy.
If you have not witnessed this show outside of the radio broadcast, you are missing out. Maze and Charles, y'all dialogue is amazing.
The Lion's Den is roaring, but check this out. Congratulations to Darius Brown. You are caller number 16 for the WVON Holiday Stocking Stuffer. Now, your prize is going to include a Dell laptop, courtesy of Comcast. Hey, yo, ComEd is paying a piece of that power bill, and a couple of Chipotle gift cards. Happy holidays and congratulations, Darius. You excited, man?
Yeah, very excited. Thank you so much.
Now, Darius, do you listen to the WVON morning show every day?
Every morning, man.
That's right. And you know what, man? What's the question we like to ask, Darius?
What's in it for the black people?
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's our man, Darius Brown. Congratulations. He is caller number 16, winner of the WVON Holiday Stocking Stuffer. Whew. Well, y'all, we just talked to the chief economist from the Illinois Policy Institute. Charles, we type of post-mortem, but you had a very interesting
I can post-mortem by saying, you know, what he was talking about was basic supply side economics, trickle down, right? What you would expect from the conservative free market think tank, the Illinois Policy Institute. I read a lot of people on Facebook disagreeing with this philosophy. Which can be expected because it's the philosophy that most black people have held, not that philosophy, but the whole liberal democratic orthodoxy. People reacting to him in a negative way, but I don't know what the alternative is that they propose at this point. They haven't really tried it that way, so what do? Do we move back to the default position, which has gotten us where we are today? It's a great moment for conversation because I want to hear these new ideas. You know, a lot of people, they get angry when we have people on from the Illinois Policy Institute say, you can't talk to those people, what do you mean? But we do here at the WVON Morning Show because we want to hear all points of view. And I'm glad the brother was here because it gets people thinking. They might not like it, but they're thinking and they're talking about it finally. And that's what, that is the whole purpose of this program, certainly my purpose for being here.
It seems to me that Anthony D. Muhammad sort of summed up the Lion's Den today. He said, a brilliant black man is often sent amongst us as a guided missile. I ain't mad at the technology of the missile, not even the science and ingenuity behind the design of it. But who got their finger on the button is very important.
Oh.
And I think that's what the Lion's Den was trying to figure out today.
You know, and so here's me, right? I am the king of, man, we gotta bust this thing up, right? We gotta bust it up. But I also am not gonna say that I'm gonna bust it up just to bust it up and then flip the other side just to be opposite. I think that what has to happen is, and I think while we keep waiting for somebody else, and I think you hit it on the head, we keep waiting for somebody to have this magic shiny Negro that's going to have the answer. So now they got a black person. Is he going to be the answer? I really think it's going to be incumbent upon black folks to have the answer, to sit down, put it together, and then say to all the parties, I don't care who you hire, here's what we're suggesting is the things that will impact us. Because I don't know if, I think he can read the data, but I don't think if you don't know the nuance of Illinois and the real programs that's going on, I think they can run circles around you. But I'll tell you this, what I am happy about, or what I am excited about, is that people are proactively understanding that they have to have an answer to the question. And if for nothing else, the fact that, one, they hired a black man, and that he was here and proactively attempting to answer the question, what's in it for the black people, while people who've lived here for all their life are running from it, I think there's something there to say. Let's go to the phone call. Art, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
Hey, Maze. I find it amazing with black people in terms of if taxes are being cut. If you live in America, your tax is going to be cut also. It has nothing to do with black and white. So to me, it just sounds crazy when people talking about what's in it. But black people live in America, they cut taxes. Everybody's taxes get cut. That's just what it is. So what are we arguing about, talking about? Because, and then you always talk about if Trump gave back $1,000 to everybody's company, would you give your money back? Who all don't want their money for the $1,000 bonus? Give it to me. I'll be very happy to spend it and make sure it works for my family and those who are interested in trying to help other people. So to me, it just sounds ridiculous when we get on something and trying to box that man in on something he has no control of. He's just giving you the information that's provided based on the numbers. Bottom line, it's not political. It's just what it is. So to me, it just didn't make any sense.
Okay, all right. I want you to but you don't be trying to cut me out, dog. Look, I didn't say I was giving my check back, and I want them to sign it over to me. You can stop that. I was just trying to get all the people saying, yeah, we don't want no Trump tax cut. Look, man, you send me $1,000 in the mail, I'm cashing the check, and I'm gonna help make America great again, right? That's what I'm gonna do. I get $1,000 check. Hey, man, but look, you know what? Let's move on. Charles, did you see the story about the law team? Remember Quintonio LeGrier, just earlier this week we were talking a story about how the mayor's law department was going to sue a dead body.
Yeah, the mayor's saying his department went rogue on him, and they were out of control and running amok, and he had to step in and
get them straight.
Put a stop to them countersuing Quintonio LeGrier because because they were going to blame him for Betty Jones's murder.
But apparently, it wasn't the mayor's decision to sue. It was the $138,000. What she make? $139,812 a year. Deputy Corporation Counsel Naomi Avendano?
Yeah, she makes $139,000 a year thereabouts.
And so she made the decision with this outside law firm, Hurd and Hale, to pursue this controversial strategy. Now, did you see this story, man?
Yeah.
Charles, something about this story just seems so odd to me.
Yeah,
right?
I told you last week, it's all an effort to support the narrative that the mayor is not control of the law department, so that when this comes up a year from now, when he starts running for re-election, and people ask him about Laquan McDonald, he'll say, well, I don't have that kind of control over my law department. And this supports that narrative, because that's his only way out of the Laquan McDonald.
Especially with the fact that Gary McCarthy came on this show and said, oh no, I said, you're going to have some problems. The mayor said he don't want no problems. It's the Top of Chicago 1690. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
Are you guys getting the article from the Sun-Times?
Yes. It's from the Sun-Times. It's the number 3 official in the law department. But I think the key, I think Charles hit it on the head. And I think even as I'm reading the bottom of this article, it also, what was Steve Patton was the former attorney guy. So Steve Patton, even how they're writing this article, it insulates them from Steve Patton. That's crazy, man. You see my text? Huh?
Yeah, just got it. Oh, wow, okay. Audrey, I got yours too. May, when is the next What's in It for the Black People meeting?
The first Tuesday. The first Tuesday in. The second Tuesday.
So it'll be the second Tuesday. Okay.
Second Tuesday, but we're gonna have to have a meeting, guys, because our questionnaire needs to go out at the beginning of the year.
All right, we got the article in there.
Hey, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. Y'all was enjoying this show.
So I remember last time when came on, Chima. It was sort of like the same rhetoric surrounding like the disconnect between like Africans and regular blacks.
So Chima though to me is 100% regular black. Like it's like he got the, you know, he stays in touch with his roots, but Chima's down. But I think like when you talk about a guy like that dude is like Coming to America black, right? Like the king, the prince of Zamunda. I think that there is an innate prejudice in Chicagoans as it relates to Africans. And I think that that's, again, I think there's a lot of nuance in things that if you ain't from it, you don't understand. Like, you don't, right? Like, I'm not tripping on the brother. I didn't think he has to apologize for living in a loop. But when you say, when I walk down the street every day and I'm walking past black people that are hurting in the loop, I'm saying, now real talk, where you walking? Right? Like, and if you saying it's the homeless people on the street, like really, they clean up the black homeless people until you put you underneath. So when you say a statement like that to a Chicagoan, and we in the world of, you ain't Chicago, you ain't from Chicago, bruh. Where do you walk past the poor people? Where do you walk in the loop? When you see black folks, they coming to school, going to work, something, right? 99% of them, they got a bag, they went shopping. So are they, when that's a narrative that they've poured into you. So if he said, man, I live on 76, or when I'm out traveling, he walks to work every day. So he ain't taking public transportation through the neighborhood. He ain't driving south or west. I'm not saying he ain't, but I'm saying when you say you saw it in the loop, what part of the loop you saw it in? Tell me. That's simple. That's like Harold's Chicken, right? What's your favorite restaurant on the South Side?
I gotta say Harold?
No, you ain't gotta say else. But I'm saying, again, but that demonstrates the nuance of the disconnect when you say, okay, we gotta hire somebody, and so whoever said that's the guy or that's good, who greenlit that, and then said, this is going to be the person that you going to come use to sell this? If you trying to sell it, that's one thing. If you just trying to say it and don't care if anybody receives it, that's another thing, right? You can say it, but are you trying to have someone that is going to convert people? Or are you trying to have someone who is just going to go out and say it and it's going to bounce off, right?
I mean, I think just as Charles just commented in the Facebook, that I think that a larger conversation should be had right here on the show, because it always is a point of high comments, and it's always a point of contention. So I think a larger conversation is necessary.
I always thought about it, and I could never get to do the story at Channel 7, but I always wanted to talk to these African brothers about, hey, what happens to you when you deal with America?
We back, y'all.
I just want to hear what they say. I want to hear what they think.
They ain't waiting. They come with a plan and they say, I gotta drive this taxi till I make all this money, right?
That's fine. But I want to hear that. I want to hear that part of the conversation.
This sounds so epic. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the building. Plus, we got Ruthie Moore, our social commentator. Y'all, we are talking about the city of Chicago and this lawsuit with Quintonio LeGrier and them throwing somebody under the bus. Charles, you know, last week I thought I had it all figured out, right? I was like, oh yeah, this is it. They gonna get him. This is the liquor. And then you dropped the science. I'm going to say that was the science of the week last week with the breakdown of why this story hit the news and this whole law, this whole appearance of the misdirection. And then you even even said, man, they got psychologists that.
Yeah, they actually dropped the story Thursday to Friday so that they could let it marinate for a whole weekend so nobody could really talk about it for another weekend. But you know, my point is that if the mayor is not in charge of the law department, he's derelict of his duty. He should be on top of it all the time. Even when he had Steve Patton there and the Laquan McDonald case, he should have been on top of that. He should have looked at the video. So, he should have seen it. If the city's going to be held liable, I mean, he should have been on top. And you'd think they would have learned their lesson, that to have this underling making all these decisions. You see what I'm saying?
So do you think though that, Charles?
Yeah.
In the case of a case like this, Quintonio LeGrier, with all of this money on the line, money, relationships, politics, you mean to tell me that the number three didn't bounce it to the number 2 or the number 1 to say, hey y'all, we about to do this very controversial program? And then did you read how they did the story? Where it said it's tough to understand how the new chief would make a decision like this, high-risk strategy, if he'd known about it in advance. So who's running the law department?
Well, basically, nothing's really changed in the law department. They're just doing this to try to create a narrative that the mayor's law department runs pretty much on its own. Come on. That's ridiculous. The Corporation Council represents the city of Chicago, and the mayor should be in constant contact with the Corporation Council. And he's trying to suggest that that's not how his Corporation Council works. Come on, get serious. You mean tell me that you got to look this case going that could cost the city tens of millions of dollars, and you're not on it every step of the way? How is this woman making a decision like this on that case? Oh, come on, man. You know, and if that is the case, Rahm needs to go if he's not in charge of things to that extent.
Who is in charge, Charles?
Rahm is.
No, man. He said.
Come on, man.
I'm not going to call him again because I left him a message earlier this week. I'm still waiting on a call. Ruthie, you over there grinning. What you laughing for?
Social media, particularly Facebook, seems to think that Rahm knew what was going on.
No way, man. What about the kid's future?
Sharon says, everybody knows the truth. Rahm thinks if you tell the lie long enough, it becomes the truth.
Yeah, I'm just telling y'all, though. You know y'all going to reelect him. Because, I mean,
maybe he'll overcome this and be.
Y'all gonna forget.
But the thing is, I think we don't like people asking him, playing us.
I think y'all gonna forget. Black lollipops. I'm so tired of the lollipop crew. Like, look, is he gonna get a pass on this? I mean, everybody keep telling me, black folks forget. I promise you, everybody is praying that black folks forget. And I'm saying, how many of these stories do we see in the paper? Didn't we see somebody got 20 million this week, another 30 million, plus this?
I'll give you a how many. How many black apologists are going to show up in the next winter and in early 2019 on his behalf?
Let me ask a question.
How many preachers are going to show up?
That's the question. How many preachers are going to show up with school buses and dinners? Because I'm telling you how it go, man. Right now, they counting y'all. They like, look, man, I got this. Are we going again? Are we going to go again? I mean,
are we going to go? That's the biggest question of all. I mean, are we going to go again? What we were talking about a few minutes ago. Are we going to go back to the default position?
I
mean, are we going to go?
I'm wondering.
What choices do we have?
That's the question. So, one of the things that people always get mad at me about politics is that I make choices, right? But the choice is not always between right and wrong. You still got to make a choice. Sometimes the choice is between wrong and wronger.
The lesser of two evils.
The lesser of two evils. My enemy's enemy is my friend. And so all this has to be played into the strategy going forward in the next, these next 2 election cycles. I still keep thinking about all these state rep races that I thought we were going to have that we don't. So we only got a few. But with only a few, y'all, we can make a real big statement. I was just telling you. Now, you know what? I don't know if y'all know, we got some work to do coming back. So we got the Ogden Park Eagles who went to the Hall of Fame Bowl to play for the national championship. They came up just a little bit short, but we're going to have some of them stop in. We got Latrice Spann coming in talking about the Blue Light Special. Plus, I got one more. Oh, the Chicago Bears coat drive. We've got the equipment manager from the Chicago Bears coat drive, and he'll be here as well. We're talking about all after the Talk of Chicago is 8:30. We'll be back after that.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
All right, we got a hashtag from Eddie said, anybody but Ron.
Man, we been had that. They had that last time.
And it still
That shit didn't work.
So the most effective hashtag that I saw was the Buy Anita hashtag.
Oh, that was
got
a
Kim
great
Fox elected. Have you seen any
Right.
other hashtags in political
No,
activism?
I haven't. And you know the thing is, it's like that Buy Anita hashtag was the whole hook to get rid of. The Buy Anita hashtag was the whole. Tony Preckwinkle didn't elect her. Buy Anita did.
And the youth activism surrounding Buy Anita.
Yes.
So I have a question from you from Kende from Facebook. Are there any local Hispanic or Latino programming that focuses on awareness, like of their own issues? Do they have any radio shows, newspapers, things like that?
You know, find something from Gladys Knight. She had a big Christmas.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, okay.
Look at my face.
It's Tom, brother. It's good seeing
Now you know I can't wear. This is gonna be a dress.
Look, you know what? Hey, how you doing? You know what? You can hold on to that till I get one that's small.
Okay.
I just where you?
So look, we gonna put the shorties right there on the outsides. So put the two kids right there, Keith. You might have to lean in and talk to them for a second.
Right.
Guys, we got to do the Bears too. So are we doing the Bears first?
Okay. About 35, 36.
Okay, so we'll do the Bears, equipment manager, co-drive. Then after that, I'll come to you. Then we'll go to Latrice. All right?
Have a seat over
So
here.
guys, I'm gonna do you for about like 5 minutes. So make sure you know your school, your team. It's Vikings, 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 Vikings. All right. Where you go to school, what positions you play, what you've learned from football, and man, you know, had they talked before?
Talking to the microphone, you gotta get
Just
right
answer the
into
questions. All right, y'all know talk directly into the mic.
Right into the microphone. Into the microphone. You got it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more time we
get more
get.
excited. It's early, right?
Hey, okay, I need y'all to scoot in, Cool Breezes. You know what, man? If I was on the radio, I'd be fired up. Y'all like, look, man, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
You been on the radio before? You been in the studio before? No.
All right, so I need you to scoot in just a little bit. Y'all are on Facebook and YouTube. Right now, you're talking to about 100 on YouTube and about 65, 100 on Facebook and about 65 on YouTube. You got about 100,000 people listening in the universe. So, you got a big audience today, all right? So y'all make sure y'all just highlight. We want to highlight. We're proud of y'all, man. That's all I'm saying. We're proud of y'all. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Today, man, we're in the home stretch.
So you can look
Stretch.
right here.
Oh,
to
Charles'
see.
choice. We coming back with Charles' choice, and I don't have any. What did he didn't give me?
Charles, what's your choice today?
I don't know, man. I think she's gonna do some Gladys Knight today. We're gonna see what she's gonna come up with.
Cause I kind of feel your pain. Maybe trying to get you to do some yoga.
Man, why you be hating? Now, Keith, don't make. All right, Keith.
I gotta be concerned about the brand. You know?
May's my man, but
They know about their branding. So
Hey
I'm
man,
concerned about
let me tell you what.
You should
But let me tell you what.
He's a classic man.
Check this out. You know what? I get calls from activity directors at senior homes all the time and emails saying that it's like it helps their seniors start being active. They all be dancing in their chairs and stuff. So it looks crazy, right? But it is also to grow the audience. But you know who I want to talk to in the grand scheme of things? Seniors. Why do I want seniors? Because you know who vote? seniors. And so when they be like, oh, May, you look, when we went to senior breakfast, they was like, come on, baby, do that yoga for me. Right? Come on over here, do that yoga. So, and you know what? It's funny, I have an emotional attachment to that song because when we did Black Friday, that was the song that I was playing that day, and I drank my coffee, was listening to that song, and the next thing you know, I went on the massive tirade, and it just popped off. So, you know.
Would y'all rather hear Maze sing or see him dance? Yeah, I think we'd choose dancing.
Y'all don't like my singing? First of all, you know they say sing like nobody's listening. And guess what? I take that 100% into. Let me tell you, I'm such a terrible singer that my father was the pastor of the church, and I couldn't be in the children's choir. They was like, hey. I was like, and you know I'm loud, so you know I ain't gonna sing quiet. They was like, Sister Jackson, we think Brother Mays would be much better as a member of the usher board. Right? Right. We get you to the usher board. Let him sing in the back.
All right, you gotta smile.
Yeah, man. I know. No, you ain't gotta smile. You play football, dog. Man, don't let them. Hey, man, we want them to strike fear and terror in their hearts when they see you, man.
You look so upset.
What position you play?
Running back.
Okay, what position you play?
Quarterback.
Uh-oh. Man, how many yards you pass for this shit?
With this extraordinary confidence.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, man. I'm gonna have to recruit y'all to the league, man. I'm gonna have to bring them in the Catholic League, man. What you want to do? Come on, man. You know they be recruiting for real. High school, middle school.
We want the school now. We want the slot. We want the school.
You know what I was saying though? How dope would it be if we could send all, like, you know how in New Orleans they got a black Catholic high school that all the black athletes go to? Yes. What if we could like take like Hales or something and just say all the black athletes go to one, like if you elite black athlete and you and your parents, we get you a scholarship from this little fund, or you send your kids there. Man, you know we could kill the world, man. Kill the world.
I can't hear you.
We can't go into any concussion talk with the Bears guy. The equipment manager.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, just let you know.
Okay.
Okay, you can't go that territory.
All right, so I got him for Tony Medlin. 5 minutes.
Slow you back.
All right, guys, you got headphones? Get them some headphones.
These right here.
We want them to have experience. Do you see what?
Visual on Facebook is beautiful.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Do you see what I see? Do Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, but every day, 8:30 is Charles' Choice. Charles, take it away.
Gladys Knight did one of the great Christmas albums. That's part of it.
That was Gladys?
That's Gladys, man.
Where the Pips?
They back there.
They back there.
You see what I see.
They're stepping back there.
Do they get the little
Heard
spin
it
around?
through the grapevine.
Right, they get the, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. We got my girl, Ruthie Moore, in the studio, as well as, y'all, I can't wait because we got some young people who have gone on to represent Chicago and make us proud. We got the Ogden Park Vikings, and they just in this building, they just played in the Hall of Fame Bowl. But before we do that, guys, since we on a football thing, we have on the live line Mr. Tony Medlin. Now, Tony, y'all know the Bears have been running this coat drive since I can remember. And Tony has been the equipment manager for the Bears for 31 years. And so he's here to talk to us today about the coat drive that the Chicago Bears are executing. Tony, welcome to the WVON Morning Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good morning, Maze. Good morning, Charles. Yeah,
Good morning.
Good morning, man. Now, somebody told me, Tony, that you listen to the WVON Morning Show.
Yes, I do all the time.
All right.
Morning.
Hey, you got to keep it low.
What do you think?
What you think, Tony?
I love it. I'm telling you, if you want to be educated, listen to WVON.
There it is. Now, Tony, you know what? The Chicago Bears are. I'm excited about this opportunity between Chicago Bears and WVON to develop this relationship. So tell us what you got going on.
Well, right now, Mays and Charles, we have a Chicago Bears coat drive that's going on right now. And this is our 29th season doing this. And what we're asking everyone that would like to donate or will donate what we call a gently used coat to Chicago, any Chicago area Jewel Osco. And there are 187 stores around every corner. So if this is going to go all up till like January 1st. We've been going since October 1. And right now we right around 11,000 coats. And last year we raised 22,000. So we're going strong.
All right, so now tell me about how many coats do you guys collect generally every year when you do this?
Like I said, last year we collected like 22,000. And
22,000?
Yes.
Good Lord, that's a lot of coats.
Yes, it is. And we distribute them all through our Salvation Army, which is a strong partner of ours, and that's how we get them distributed. And the number is 773-725-1100. If anyone is interested in a coat or need any more information concerning our coat drive, they're welcome to call there.
Can you give us some general rules on the condition these coats should be in?
Well, what we use the word gently used, just like when you donate any other clothing, you don't want to give anybody, you want to give something someone can use. And we always say, hey, gently used. A coat is a coat, but also in the same sentence, we definitely want it in good condition.
What do you mean by gently used, though? I think, obviously, you don't want that stank on it.
That stank or that smoky,
right.
Wash it.
When I use the word gently used, that means, hey, you're like now, you've had a coat for like 3 or 4 years, if not longer, 5, 6 years. And, hey, you just got a new coat. Hey, you may want to donate it to someone.
Tony, all right. So you know what, man? I gotta ask, man. So, Tony, what can we look forward to next year? Because this year was kind of a little disappointing. But what can we look for? Should we be excited about this Trubisky guy?
Mays, I do tell you this. If you're a true fan, you're excited all the time, okay? There's always hope, and there's always going to be something good coming. So trust me, we're going to be fine.
Okay, and then let me ask you, Tony, because you are the equipment manager.
Yes.
Who is the #1 selling Bears jersey?
Well, right now, the #1 jersey is Mitch Trubisky.
Okay, and who's all-time? Is Walter the all-time?
Walter is the all-time.
And then, Tony, I got to just ask this last one, and then we're going to let you go, brother.
Okay.
You were the equipment manager for Walter Payton. Give me just one story.
I do tell you this, Walter he was a jokester. Trust me, he was one of the best. And like I said, he was very special.
Tony, now I'm going to tell you, right here in our studio right now, you deal with the Chicago Bears on the professional level, but Chicago has their own team, their own young people that we need to congratulate and celebrate. I don't know if you heard about the Ogden Park Vikings, and they went to go play in the Hall of Fame game for the national championship. Now, they came up just a little short. They came in second, but they were #1 in Chicago. So we got them in the studio right now. Can you give them a quick congratulations and some words of encouragement as a Chicago Bear?
Yes. Hey, first of all, gentlemen, congratulations. I did hear about you guys' great accomplishments. I think the key thing in life, you take steps and you continue doing the best you can. The key thing is listen. A lot of young people today, they like to get things done too quick, but they don't take time to stop and listen and take time to learn what's ahead of them. So, we do congratulate you, and we do wish you well. If we can do anything for you guys, please feel free to reach out.
Tony, I'm going to reach out for them because we want to make sure that we honor and celebrate. We hear all the bad things about our young people, but here are, once again, young people that are positively representing us. One more time, tell people how they can donate a coat.
They can go to any Jewel Osco. There's 187 stores. And, again, this goes up to January 1. And if you need any information, the number is 725-1100.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Tony Medlin. He's the equipment manager for the Chicago Bears. Been doing it for 31 years. Thank you. We look forward to developing this long-term partnership with the Chicago Bears, and I look forward to you next year. Go Bears. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the studio, they ain't at the league level yet. But I'm just telling you, I saw potential, and you know me, I want tickets. So when y'all go to the league, remember, we want tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two of the stars of the Ogden Park Vikings right here in the studio. They played for the national championship. Came up just a little bit short, but represented Chicago. Fellas, say what's up to the WVON Morning Show and tell them your name.
What's up? My name is Ramel Lee.
My name is Trayvon.
Okay, so fellas, y'all, you play football. Tell me what's going on. What happened?
We came up a little short.
No, but you know what? Tell us about the Ogden Park Vikings, man.
Ogden Park, we got some very good coaches, and they teach us really good stuff to get us where we need to be. And they make sure we be good student athletes.
How old are you guys?
14.
I'm 14.
You 14? Dog, you taller than me already, man.
He's a quarterback.
You are the
Trayvon's a quarterback, right?
Trayvon, you the quarterback,
and you are the running back.
Yes.
How many yards you throw for this year?
So much can't count.
Okay. Are you a running quarterback or are you a passer? You're a running quarterback. What offense did you guys run?
We run spreads. Sometimes read options and stuff.
Yeah, you know what that's.
How you remember all the plays, man? I always wondered about that with the quarterback, because I definitely have something on my sleeve. How do you remember all the plays?
I really don't know. It's just the way they set up. I just remember.
It's natural.
Oh,
You're
man,
natural.
You know the numbers and everything, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. So, fellas, can I ask a question? Tell me real quick, because you know, tell me what you get out of playing football with Ogden Park, as being Ogden Park Vikings. Talk to me about that. What'd you say?
Discipline.
Say your name one more time.
Ramel Lee.
And talk to me about that discipline. What discipline does it teach you?
They discipline us with outside of football.
So these guys, so you know what? Because one of the things that we got to do here is recognize, guys, we talk all the time about people and the less positive things in our community. And as if you can go to Facebook Live or YouTube right now and see these young men sitting here, but not only do you see these young men sitting here, but you see strong, powerful black men who have invested in their community.
Very large brothers behind and that's what he talked about, discipline, see. That's discipline, right?
So the discipline. And so coaches, real quick, because you know I got to go to break, but I would love for you all. Keith Harris is one of our guys. Keith, tell us who everybody's here. You all can say your names real quick.
Okay, to my right is Coach Sip. Everybody knows him affectionately as Coach Sip, Corey Deering. To my left is Ed Alexander. We got like about 6 or 7 other men that coach with us, fathers that either children played with us or they still play with us and they just stayed on board like I did 15 years ago.
And what was your motivation to do this?
Well, somebody did it for me. When I was their age, when I was 10, 11, they go up to the park. You're not gonna be out here playing and running through the streets, busting bottles. Go up to the park and get on the team. And when my son got old enough, I sent him there and I just stayed. And that's what we need in our community, men to give these young men direction.
Let me tell y'all what, we hear all the negativity, we hear all the stories about Inglewood, and I'm gonna tell you what, every time somebody say something about Inglewood, the first person to jump on somebody is Big Keith Harris, because he believes in all of the best of Inglewood. And here we have these 2 young men who played for the national championship and are representing the best of what Chicago has to offer. Fellas, we want to thank you guys for coming in today. We appreciate you. And you keep us up to date, because we're going to be following y'all. And look, remember, I want tickets. When y'all in the league, we up, tickets. All right? It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Charles Thomas, Ruthie Moore. We'll be back with Latrice Spann and the Blue Light Special. The Blue Light Foundation.
Hold on, before you guys leave, I have one question for you from Facebook Audrey. She wants to know, how do you guys balance your academics and your athletics? Ooh, don't look to the side.
You better have some grades, too.
How do you balance both of them?
It's kind of easy because...
No, you keep talking. I just want the camera to see.
It's kind of easy because before practice, it's like study hall. So you do all your homework before practice. Well, you can do as much as you can before it's time to practice. Then after practice.
So y'all do study halls with the boys?
Oh yeah, when they get out of school in mandatory, they come straight to the park and they do whatever homework assignments they got to do. If they don't have any homework, they got to read a book or do work, whatever they lacking in. If they slow or it's a little problem with math or science or whatever, we sit down, we work with them, and then they do that for an hour, hour and a half, and then they go to practice. And then we make school visits. Most of the principals, they know us. If it's a problem, anything, the parents can't get there because they at work or something, they'll call us. We go up to the school and we straighten it out.
Really? How many kids?
What grade you in? Yeah, eighth. You're in school next year.
How many people on the team?
Well, we got two divisions. We got a Pee Wee division that's 8 to 10, and the varsity that's 11 to 14. And all together, we roughly got anywhere from 75 kids.
Keith, are you seeing a decline in the number of people that are playing football because of the scare of CTE?
Not with us.
Okay.
Not with us.
And then let me ask another question. How has the Colin Kaepernick situation, have you all addressed the Colin Kaepernick situation in football at all?
Yes, we have.
And how have you addressed it?
I mean, my biggest focus is America too at the same time, because I was one of those kids that did have family members that fought for the country, and I would not take a knee. No disrespect to what they got going on. It's and I understand what he's doing. Is everybody have their own opinion on it. I'm saying, and it's not just because of the war. It's because of what police and stuff are doing. But at the same time, you have people who are putting themselves inside those situations. You know what I'm saying? To make police do what they do. Okay. So everybody's opinions toward that is different. Mine is different.
Latrice Span Levitt.
Levitt? Okay. Okay. So y'all can sit here.
She gonna be on the
No,
phone.
she's on the phone. Y'all can stay here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta run you out. We just gotta go. Charles, we back though. Ruthie. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You can. Thank you, fellas. Call me. And then I want them on the road.
Okay.
We'll talk. Carrie.
Yeah.
All right. Fellas, we appreciate y'all. Photo op. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. Man, Charles, Ruthie, I always hear the negative stories, but here we are 2 days in a row hearing about the best that our young people have, not just the worst. And you know what was really dope to me? Was seeing black fathers and black men in the community taking responsibility, even if they're not their natural kids.
Exactly.
The village.
We exactly. I mean, we talk about, I am, Ruthie, your father. Maze, I am your father. And you are the fathers of the generation that follow you. And that's the way it's got to be.
We have got to pass it down, and we've got to pour into each other. Speaking of passing it down and pouring into each other, we got on the live line one of the bosses. Now, she don't do the boss like Melody does the boss, because there can't nobody do the boss like Melody. But the boss of the Blue Light Foundation, Miss Latrice Span, she's on the live line to talk to us about tomorrow's Give-a-thon. We're going to be giving and collecting for the homeless from 9 to 3. Latrice Span Levitt on the live line. It's the WVON Morning Show. Latrice, how are you, sis?
Good morning, Latrice.
I think we're upset with you. Why? Because we expected you to be in the studio. This phone stuff, you better stop that, okay? You overslept. Now, you oversleep on the WVON Morning Show, you might lose. Some people have done that and they don't come back. But you the boss, so go ahead. What's going on, sis?
Absolutely get it. Hey, guys. I'm absolutely excited about being here. And, as you mentioned, the WVON Blue Light Foundation. And WVON, we're hosting our first Blue Light Christmas Give-a-thon. We're giving love, giving money, giving all types of help.
Giving money?
Who need it most.
Wait, where you giving money? Cause I'm still looking at my envelope. Is this part of this Donald Trump tax relief? Where are you giving money?
Do not put Donald Trump and the Blue Light Foundation in the same sentence.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So tell us where you.
Same envelope.
So Latrice, where are you going to be doing all of this at?
We are having a remote, guys, at Good News Partners. They are a compassion partner that we've adopted for the holiday season, and they're up north at 7632 North Carolina, and it's a homeless shelter that serves women and children. So our Chat Daddy Sims and Perry Smalls and myself, we're going up there, and we're just going to create a Merry Christmas for homeless women and children, people who need love most during the holiday season. And we're doing it big, guys. We're doing it big because that's VON. So we give it that's why I want the audience to know that here is a wonderful opportunity for us to really give back. And I know a lot of people are going to be doing Christmas shopping this weekend. So we just want to put this at the top of our Christmas list as well.
Well, let me tell you all, Latrice, how can people give if they want to participate?
Well, they can. For people where it may be convenient for them to stop up north, they could join us at Good News Partners at 7632 North Carolina, or they could drop off their donation at our studio, the WVON, 1000 East 87th Street. If you're running around and you can't get to one of those spots, then go online. They can go to WVON.BlueLightFoundation.org, and they can go right there online and make their donation. And we have a text feature as well, guys. So
we got technology to get that money. They'll get it from you coming and going. We'll take it.
If you want, you know what? Something really wrong with you, mate. They can text it. They can text GIVE, GIVE, to 904-900-BLUE. So this is what Blue Light is about. It really is about extending hearts, giving love, helping people reach higher ground. And I'm just happy that we're doing this. I'm so super excited about helping people through this organization. And this is our first compassion partner, and we're just going to make it. We're going to make it spectacular.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Latrice Span-Levitt. She is running tomorrow the Give-a-thon. We are going to be up tomorrow, 9 to 3, broadcasting live. Do not miss the opportunity. Latrice, now next time I'm going to tell you, you know me and Charles, we like to give away stuff too. So next time y'all giving away cash, give us a holler. You know, we could be on the receiving end too. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. Thank you, Latrice. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, now y'all, Charles, where does the time go? It seems like as soon as we get in good, it start getting good, it's time to go.
Yeah, man, it's the time. You know, the time is running out for you, man. For
Charles, my last
2017,
right? Because tomorrow is my last broadcast. I'm out for the rest of the year, so I'm gonna get it in tomorrow. Y'all better You do not want to miss the show tomorrow, because I'm gonna be acting a plum loco. What they say? I'm Coco Loco, man. Tomorrow, you stay tuned. Now, I might even wear my ugly sweater. Ooh. I might wear an ugly sweater. Charles, you got an ugly sweater? You know you got one. Man. Ruthie, you got an ugly sweater?
I got a black Santa Claus.
You know what? I was trying to find me a black Santa Claus hat. You know what? You might want to stop in tomorrow. Everybody's, you know, if you're on the morning show team, stop on by tomorrow. Big O, we see you out there. Johanna, we see you out there. Come on, stop by tomorrow. We're going to have a good time. Say what's up and say everybody to the last end of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. For Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for my man Das Vidania that's hanging up on the hook, for the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. You know what? And I'm gonna tell y'all what. Sonia we might have to rename her. What's the queen? Warrior Queen? What was the lady that was the Warrior Queen?
Xena
the Warrior Queen. We might have to change her name to Xena the Warrior Queen, because Sonia is bout it. For real. Hey, man, they be trying to test our girl, man. She be trying to test her. She be standing up. For my main man, Charles Thomas. You know what, Ruthie Moore? I'm going to tell you one of the best things happened to us this year. Well, actually, it's this show. But I'm glad we found you, too.
Oh, that was so happy Kwanzaa.
And for Your main man. I'm Maze Jackson. I'm the host of the WVON Morning Show. And so, there's nothing more that we enjoy better than being with our families, and you are our family. But, just in case you don't like it, you know what you can tell them? You can still tell them, Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
You want to say bye to him?
Happy holidays, everyone. I am a self-proclaimed not a morning person, but I get up and I come here and I feel good. It's like going on a field trip. You know that feeling when you was in school, you had a field trip, so I used to wake up
early,
happy. So I always wake up extra happy when I come here. And I feel like when I leave with more research I need to do because of some stuff that y'all done said. So I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for the audience participation because that's where I learned a lot. So thank y'all for this opportunity. In 2018, it's about to, woo!
They ain't ready. They are not ready for 2018. Charles?
I'm gone, man. I'll be back here tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow.
Word, still checking on Monday? Still checking on Monday.
Tuesday might be problematic.
Look, yeah. And then I'm with you on Thursday, Charles. I got some good ideas for some shows.
You might be.
You know more than I do.
No, stop.
Shit.
Hey, shout out to all of my family and friends
Hold on.
watching.
Go.
Everybody in Kankakee, everybody in Pembroke.
Forest
Hopkins Park, sign in.
Hopkins Park.
Hopkins Park, Pembroke, sign in. Big shout out.
What high school did you go to?
Kankakee High School class of 2006. Go K's.
2006.
2006.
K3.
Actually named after the Kaskaskewan Native Americans, whose land we stole.
I thought it was named for the clan.
K3, baby. I used to do all my summer camps in Aroma Park.
Aroma Park.
I used to want to go to. I wanted to go to Olivet. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace. Yeah, I wanted to go to Olivet. We used to be Nazarenes. So, like, we were the black missionaries. We were like the black